Welcome to the beautiful Cantine Field and the Morse Computer Broadcast booth. I'm Biko Scala.
And I'm Curtis Jorgensen.
And we are about to get ready between the Saugerties Stallions and the Adirondack Trailblazers tonight. A little east versus west here in beautiful Saugerties, New York.
Yeah, it's the weather is a little overcast, but it's nice and warm out. It's a little muggy, but still a great night for baseball. And we just had some pregame ceremonies that were very emotional. One of Saugerties' own, Frankie Peters, a dedicated baseball fan to not only the Saugerties Stallions, but also the high school team and pretty much any
came to all of our Saugerties
any sport you can think of. Frankie was there and recently passed away, so we had a moment of silence for him, and a fantastic showing from a foreign exchange student out of, I believe, China, Hong Kong, named Tom Tom, played a great rendition of the national anthem on the saxophone. And so we're going to get ready to play some baseball. I'll go over the Stallions starting lineup for tonight. Leading off and playing center field is number 14, Nick Campana. Batting second and playing shortstop is number 3, Luke Patterson. Batting third and playing right field is number 23, Matt Feinstein. Batting fourth, playing first base, number 24, Jack Gonzalez. Batting fifth, DHing for the night is number 20, Tyler Kelder. Batting sixth, playing left field is number 25, Connor Powers. Batting seventh, playing third base, number 33, John McKenna. Batting eighth and doing the catching for the night is number 7, Austin Powell. And batting ninth and playing second base is Jeff Palczewski.
And on the mound for the Stallions tonight, John Clayton, one of their aces. John's been fantastic in the 7 innings he's thrown so far this year. He hasn't given up a run and only 2 hits, 8 strikeouts, and only 1 walk. He's already got 2 wins on the season. So one of the standout pitchers for Saugerties. John Clayton comes out of the University of Albany. And he's been cooking so far. It's really him and Avery Short have been phenomenal.
Absolutely. And really the whole Stallion staff has been doing well, but those are definitely the 2 standouts from the rotation. So far, at least. Everyone else putting out strong showings as well, but
Avery Short off another outing last night as Saugerties took down Albany, the Dutchman, up in Albany 9-2. Avery Short, another 6 innings of scoreless ball, so he's thrown 16 scoreless innings in the first couple weeks here as a Stallion, coming from Kingston High School. And he's really showing that, these are his first 16 innings against college players, against D1 players, and he hasn't given up a home run.
yeah, really adjusted to the new league very well. And as we're saying, again, our sound isn't sounding too great, and we'll see exactly what we can do about that.
Tyler Bruno, the third baseman for Adirondack, steps in to play against Clayton. And he fouls one back onto Washington Avenue for a strike.
Definitely working on the sound here for you. I'm not exactly sure what's going on.
Oh, Lauren's audio just fouled off again. So quick 0-2 count for John Clayton. Tyler Bruno hitting 250 contest, only 10 for 28. Does have 5 RBIs and 4 walks. Bruno steps out though, and we'll wait an 0-2 from Clayton. The 0-2. Fastball high, and the count now 1-2.
And if my playing around has done anything, please let me know, because as you guys might have figured out, we can't really hear ourselves.
Ground ball to second base. Palczewski fields and throws to first in time. For the first out here in the top of the first inning, I'll bring up the second baseman, Danny Abbott. Abate coming into this game batting .318, but only in 22 at-bats. He's 7 for 22. Has scored 4 runs and picked up 3 RBIs. And he takes a breaking ball called strike. Here's the 0-1 from Clayton. Fouled back over the Adirondack. Clayton likes to work back strikes, like I said before the game. 7 innings pitched and only 1 walk so far this year, compared to 8 strikeouts. 0-2, another high fastball, counting out 1-2.
I'm still playing around with the sound. If it sounds any better, please let me know. If not, I'll keep playing with stuff.
1-2, a chopper to the left side, fielded on a backhand by Pedersen across the diamond in time. And quick 2 ground ball outs here for John Clayton. That'll bring up the designated hitter Lou Matarazzo.
Does sound better.
Matarazzo comes in hitting only 200 right at the Mendoza line. He's 5 for 25 this year. Does have 6 RBIs, along with 3 runs scored. And he takes a fastball high for a ball.
I can't argue that one.
Here comes the 1-0 to Lou. Fastball called strike, counting out 1-1. Like Kurt and I have said, very sorry for the technical difficulties, but tell us if things start sounding bad or if they're sounding worse, or nothing's happening. The 1-1. Breaking ball drifts out of the zone, so the count now 2-1. Trailblazers not hitting the cover off the ball. Only 3 guys in their lineup above 300. As the 2-1 is a big swing and a miss from Matarazzo, and it's a 2-2 count. Thank you, Diane, for the update that the sound is good. I hope Kurt's mic is good as well. 2-2, fastball called, strike 3, outside corner. So John Clayton continues his scoreless inning streak this year, and that's his 8th scoreless toss so far. It's a 1-2-3, top of the first. Stallions coming to bat in a scoreless game here from the Morris Computer, broadcasting to the Cantine Field.
I apologize for not doing a whole lot of commentary there, but it sounds like I may have fixed whatever was going on, so I'll be back in action for the rest of the game.
Kurt also moonlights as one of our technical magicians here in the studio when he's not calling the game.
Absolutely.
And it's tough to do both at once.
Yeah, you can trying to focus on the game, but with the audio all messed up, and apparently my mic is really bad. So I'm going to keep working on that.
Thank you for everyone who is tuned in. So then we'll come grab it at the stadium here at Cantine, whichever is easier for you. So all your comments telling us if the sound's bad or where you're from, any kind of comment you want, any comment about the game, that could win you this incredible deal, a hat and a foam finger. So far we've given away a jersey and a BP warm-up and a polo, as well as an autographed Stallions bat from the entire team. We love giving away stuff. It doesn't cost Kurt and I a penny.
Nope, we just get to give it away, and then people like our broadcast because of it. So I'll take it.
Center fielder for the Stallions, Nick Campana, is wandering up to the plate. He'll face Kyle Cashman on the mound for Adirondack. Cashman so far off to a good start for Adirondack on the mound. He's actually already thrown 15 innings. He has given up 9 runs, but only 6 of those were earned. That's good for a 3.6 ERA. As Campana hits a little flare into right field, but it's shallow right, and it will be caught at second base by Danny Abate. So 1 pitch, 1 out here in the bottom of the first for Cashman as Adirondack throws the ball into left field.
And so that's going to bring up the 2-hitter for the Stallions, number 3, Luke Pedersen.
One interesting stat on Kyle Cashman, only 5 strikeouts in 15 innings, so he's only striking out a batter every 3 innings. That compared to 4 walks, though, so he's not walking a lot either. He is 0-2 on the season and has given up 4 extra base hits.
And that lack of walk could actually possibly contribute to the lack of Ks as well, because hitters are going up there knowing he's going to throw strikes, so they're going right up there swinging and just try to put the ball in play. But he seems to have been doing pretty well with that strategy so far.
Yeah, Cashman, a hard-throwing righty, throwing strikes, getting contact from Hicksville, New York, and Pace University, coming off of his junior season there, as the 0-1 is outside for a ball.
And Pedersen up at the plate out of Minnetonka, Minnesota, and he'll be going into his senior year at Minnesota University. Or the University of Minnesota, whichever you prefer.
Fastball up and out, so the count 2-1 on Pedersen. Luke off to a hot start for the Stallions, coming in batting .308. One of the 9 Stallions hitters hitting above 300. It's a ground ball down the third base line, but just foul. Pedersen just missed extra bases.
Yeah, that one about an inch or two to the left of the third base line. And it would have been a surefire double.
So it's a 2-2 count on Luke. One thing he's great at is not striking out. Only 5 strikeouts and 46 at-bats. Also has 7 RBIs and 9 runs scored to boot. Cashman winds and delivers. It's a hard ground ball to short. Fielded and throws across the diamond. Tough pick, though, and it goes all the way to the wall. Pedersen's going to run towards second, and he'll get there without a throw. So Pedersen will be standing on second base on the E6.
And that was a great piece of hitting there by Pedersen because, he's actually out there slapping his leg. He knew that definitely wasn't his favorite pitch to hit, but he knew with 2 strikes he had to protect the zone. Just slapped it out there to shortstop, hoping that, put the ball in play, good things happen. That's exactly what happened. Now he's standing over there on second base.
So that'll bring up the right fielder, Matt Feinstein, with 1 out and Pedersen on second.
And Feinstein, out of Old Brookville, New York. He's going into his junior year at Dartmouth College this upcoming season.
Takes a fastball up and in for a ball. Pedersen leads off second. Cashman comes set, and he'll come home. That fastball called strike, count now 1-1.
And with Pedersen standing on second now, that actually brings me to something I was looking at before the game. Unearned runs has been a big problem for Adirondack so far. I believe they have given up about 81 runs on the year, and only 63 of them have been earned. So they've given up about 20 runs for free with errors. And so their 6-8 record could have a little bit to do with that.
Yeah, unearned runs kills. It's really frustrating for a pitcher when you think you're throwing outs, but then your defense can't back you up.
Absolutely. You definitely are throwing outs, and yeah, it's definitely very frustrating where you're getting 4 or 5 and even 6 outs per inning.
Pedersen takes off for second. It's a little fly ball into right. He's going to have to hustle back, but it drops. A diving attempt out there by Rob Zaraski, and it gets behind him. Pedersen will have to hold up at third, though, because he started running back to second. So call that a double for Matt Feinstein, although Luke Pedersen can only get to third base on.
Yeah, what a roller coaster of a play. Stallions trying to be aggressive right off the bat, sending Pedersen on the pitch, and then Feinstein thought it was a fly out to right, so Pedersen had to sprint all the way back to second, and it turned out the diving right fielder of the Trailblazers couldn't quite snag it, and so now the Stallions have second and third with their four-hitter Jack Gonzalez coming to the plate.
Yeah, Gonzalez, a deadly hitter for Saugerties, the first baseman tonight. He's been playing a lot of first over there for the Stallions. His 55 at-bats tied for the team lead with Nick Campana, as that one goes off the glove of Matt Codispati behind the plate, but not too far away, so Pedersen will have to stay at third.
Yeah, and this is not the guy you want to see at the plate if you are Kyle Cashman on the mound right now, because Gonzalez is actually fifth in the entire PGCBL in RBIs with 13, and has a great opportunity to add to that right here.
Yeah, that's good for the Stallions' lead as well. As the 1-0 to him is a chopper up the middle. It'll score Pedersen. It'll be fielded, but no throw from Danny Abate at second, so not a crushing blow from Jack Gonzalez, but it's an RBI infield single. Saugerties leads 1-0.
Yeah, put it where it needed to go, just a little chopper up the middle. Just the fact that the Trailblazers second baseman Danny Abate got to that was impressive, but Gonzalez hustling right out of the batter's box. He didn't have a shot at him, and so that's gonna put the Stallions up 1-0, bringing up the five-hitter number 20 Tyler Kelder. Kelder out of Kingston, New York. He'll be going into his freshman year at St. Bonaventure University next season.
Kelder rips one behind Feinstein and foul down the third base line. Almost caught his right fielder down there.
Yeah, it looks like it almost clipped him. Fortunately, Feinstein was in foul territory, so even if it had, it would have just been a foul ball. And that's why they tell you to take your lead off of third base in foul territory.
I would be incredibly unhappy if I laced one down the third base line. That would have been a double, but ends up hitting my team and being an out. 0-1 to Kelder, fouled back over the Adirondack dugout and onto Washington Ave. So a quick 0-2 count on Kelder.
And Kelder, a hot bat for the Stallions, coming off last night's game. He actually had a home run. And so that's why they put him in the 5 spot tonight for the DHing responsibilities. And it's gonna be a little tougher here at Cantine, as it's a pretty deep fence out there. But if you could put one out into the outfield right now, that'll almost assure another Stallions run.
0-2 goes off his helmet and goes all the way over the backstop. It does not go actually off his bat.
Yes, it did not go off the helmet, but off the back of his bat. The ball went behind him, and he couldn't put his bat down quick enough, and so that's going to be a foul ball.
Boy, I really thought that one went right off the helmet.
It sounded like it hit him right in the noggin, but he didn't react in a way that looks like he got hit in the head.
So it's still an 0-2 count. Kelder able to spoil the fastball behind his head.
Yeah, good job there, staying alive by Tyler Kelder.
Feinstein leads off third, Gonzalez off first. Stallions trying to add to their 1-0 lead with only one out here in the bottom of the first. 0-2, fastball. That one hits him.
That one did get him.
So after the one behind his head, he takes one off the shoulder, and that'll load the bases full of Stallions for their left fielder, Connor Powers. If you get hit by a pitch, call your injury attorneys at law, Delvecchia and Kraft.
Yeah. If you got hit by a pitch, or if you got hit by really anything at all, they'll be able to help you out.
I guess they don't just specialize in baseball injuries.
And so after that hit by pitch on Tyler Kelder, that's going to bring up the 6-hitter in the Stallions order, left fielder Connor Powers.
Powers hitting .241 coming into this game. On the year, he does have 2 RBIs. Hasn't been driving in a ton for the Stallions, but he just missed a home run by a couple feet last night in Albany as he takes a fastball up for a ball.
Yeah, Powers out of Rockville Center, New York. And after redshirting this year as a junior, he will continue with junior eligibility at the University of Albany this upcoming season.
1-0 fastball called strike outside corner. Like you were saying, Kurt, Tyler Kelder, a hot bat Hit only the third home run on the season for the Stallions last night, also hitting .375 since joining the team from Kingston High School. It's a fastball up and out. It's a 2-1 count. And even on his outs, it's something we see with Nick Campana too, but he's been lacing the ball whether it finds a hole or not.
Yeah, baseball is one of those games where you could do everything right and still only be hitting 300. And yeah, you just gotta know that you just gotta keep doing what you're doing, and eventually they'll fall in there. And that's exactly what Kelder's been doing these past couple games.
So it's a 3-1 count on Powers. Cashman one pitch away from walking a run in, and he does just that. It's a fastball outside. Stallions will take a 2-0 lead on Connor Powers' third RBI of the year. That one via walk.
And now we're going to see a mound visit from the Trailblazers pitching coach. Nobody in the bullpen yet for them, but he just wants to calm them down a little bit. Could have a little something to do with those errors earlier on in the inning. That's as we were saying before, that's very frustrating for a pitcher, being able to get the outs and then not being backed up by your team.
Yeah, this so far 2-run rally, which still has the Saugerties Stallions with bases loaded, 1 out. Here in the bottom of the first, it all started with a 1-out E6 on Luke Pedersen's ground ball to short. He's since come around to score, as well as Matt Feinstein, who followed it up with a bloop double into right field, just out of the diving reach of Rob Zarowski out there. Yeah, and that possibly could have been held to a single had he not dove for it. Would have been a fantastic play if he caught it, but it's one of those 50-50 ones where, you know, it's high risk, high reward. You lay out, and if you catch it, then your pitcher loves you. But then when you miss it and give up the extra base, you know, your pitcher's going to be unhappy. So tough play there, but each of those has contributed to the 2 runs that the Stallions have so far. And Adirondack pitcher Kyle Cashman possibly overcompensating for his lack of field defensive help he's been getting. John McKenna, the third baseman, steps in and takes a fastball called strike. He has the other 2 home runs that the Stallions have hit this year. He hit them both in one night against the Amsterdam Mohawks. That's a breaking ball called strike, and McKenna in an 0-2 hole. McKenna comes in hitting .303. He already does have 8 RBIs on the year. 0-2. Breaking ball high. And the count now 1-2. Looks like Matt Codaspoti behind the plate got crossed up on that when he was shaking his head. He kind of caught it in his chest. Yeah,
just went out to talk to Cashman a little bit. And actually looks like it possibly could have been a strike. But as you said, catcher got crossed up and wasn't able to frame it well enough. And so the umpire decided to call that one a ball.
So it's a 1-2 count now on McKenna. Bases full of Stallions. 1-2. There's a fastball high in the count now, 2-2.
McKenna out of Parkland, Florida, and he's playing for West Point, an Army guy. And so everyone really likes having him around.
2-2, off speed, but fouled off onto Washington Avenue. First base side out of play. McKenna is the lone cadet on the Stallions.
And with 2 strikes, now he's just got to try to choke up, put the ball in play. And the Stallions will, unless it's a double play, be able to get their 3rd run of the inning.
And he's been doing just that with a 2-2 count so far. Fouled off a backdoor breaking ball and then was able to handle that fastball as well. Just looking for his pitch right now.
Absolutely. And that one actually kind of looked like it was his pitch. A big swing out of McKenna. And had he put a little bit more of the bat on the ball, looks like it could have went deep into the outfield, but he just missed it.
Long looking for a sign from Cashman, who finally comes set. Here comes the third 2-2. Another breaking ball, that one high. No! Called strike 3. McKenna doesn't like it. I thought it crossed high as well, but it was a close one to take, 2-2.
Absolutely, yeah, especially he was fouling off so many other pitches. That one was probably as close as all the other ones had been. Would have been worth it to at least foul it off, but he decided against it, and it was a 50-50 call. Umpire decided to punch him out. So that's out number 2 for the Stallions, and that'll bring up the 8-hitter, catcher Austin Powell.
Powell coming in, only hitting 154, but just 2 for 13, so he hasn't had the at-bats like a lot of the other Stallion starting lineup has.
That pitch looks like it might have crossed about the same spot as that pitch to McKenna. But we don't have the best view in the world from up here in the broadcast booth, so don't want to say for sure.
That one misses again, so it's a quick 2-0 count on Austin Powell.
And Powell out of Star City, Arkansas, and he's going into his sophomore year at Arkansas State. And it looks like from the comments he's got a whole lot of support backing him up out of Arkansas tonight.
He's also got a 3-0 count here. He's one ball away from getting another bases-loaded walk.
And I didn't see the sign that Tommy Whitaker gave him, but I can imagine he's going to have him take on this pitch.
Powell still looking for his first RBI on the year. Fastball inside, so it's a 4-pitch walk, and there is his first RBI of the year. Saugerties takes a 3-0 lead. That's the second run walked in this inning by Cashman. And the Stallions also have batted around. It's the 9-hitter and second baseman Jeff Palczewski. Jack Gonzalez with the RBI single comes around to score now. Palczewski takes a fastball high, and the count 1-0. That's 5 straight.
And Palczewski, the second baseman out of West Seneca, New York, and just came out of his freshman year at University of Buffalo. And I'd say he'd be going into his sophomore year there, but unfortunately, the university decided to cut their baseball program, so he'll be looking for a new home this upcoming year, if he doesn't have one already.
Yeah,
I have not been told.
Cut 7 or 8 programs trying to rebuff their football teams so they can get more scholarships there.
Mm-hmm.
Controversial move for the university.
It's a shame baseball has to pay the price for a lousy football team.
It's a 1-2 count on Palczewski.
And I know a lot of real great baseball players who are playing at Buffalo. One of them, Palczewski. Another one, Andrew Taft, who is a fellow Stallion. And also probably one of the best Stallions on the team last year for the summer of 2016, Alex Thrower, who was phenomenal. And all those guys are going to have to look elsewhere to play college ball.
Here comes the 2-2 from Cashman. Breaking ball flied into center field. Joe Simone with a long way to run, but it'll be Brett Huber, the shortstop, who calls him off and makes the catch. But the Stallions do strike for 3 runs on only 2 hits and an error. And at the end of 1 full inning of play, Saugerties leads 3-0 from the Morris Computer broadcast booth here at Cantine Field.
And you know what, Beeks? I think we might have been muted last time. Last time we were explaining our whole promotion tonight, and so people don't really know what's going on.
Well, I can always break them out again.
We should show them, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, I'd say.
These really have to be warned so you can understand the full the full capacity of what's being given away tonight.
This right here could be one of you viewers at home. Could look exactly like Biko, probably better than Biko.
I don't know.
If I had to guess. But either way, you're gonna get the foam finger, you're gonna get the Saugerties Stallion hat, and it's gonna get sent right to you if you can't make it to Saugerties yourself. We'll pack it up, ship it right to you, and you can watch the game with this beautiful hat and this foam finger. All you got to do is comment on this post. Me and Biko have picked a random number before the game, and if you're that number comment, then you're gonna win this. We've already given away some fantastic stuff: a signed baseball bat, a jersey, warm-up shirt, and I'd say out of all those, this is probably one of the better prizes you can get.
I mean, I don't know if you understand how good this foam finger is.
It's looking at it close up, you got it pretty much right in my face, and so I can't look at much else. And I gotta say, it's one of the better foam fingers I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's got multiple uses. You don't just wear this at home where you're watching the game. You could hail a taxi with this. You can call people out. You know, it's menacing if someone points at you with a foam finger.
Poke somebody right in the chest, and they're like, oh, I'm a little nervous right now.
It's intimidating.
So all you guys got to do is just comment on this post, and if you're the lucky number, then we will pack it up, ship it right to you. And also, along with the comment, if you could like and share this post, me and Biko would greatly appreciate that. We're trying to get as much exposure for these broadcasts as we can, and we need our loyal viewers to help us out. So please just like, share, and then comment on this post, and you'll have a chance to win some great stuff. And so that's going to bring us to the top of the second between the Stallions and the Trailblazers. Stallions already up, have a 3-0 lead, and John Clayton takes the mound.
Clayton gets a foul ball from first baseman John Baswell. Clayton got a 1-2-3 top of the first, his 8th scoreless inning in a row as a Stallion this year, and coming off of a torn rotator cuff, wasn't even really able to pitch for the University of Albany, but looks like he's in mid-season form here for the Stallions.
Absolutely, looks like he came back looking stronger than he did before. Oftentimes that happens.
Certainly stronger than if he was trying to throw with a torn rotator cuff.
You are absolutely right. It's very hard to throw with a torn rotator cuff.
I've never done it, but I'm not going to try.
But at the plate for the Trailblazers, number 34, John Boswell. He's coming out of Atlanta, Georgia.
Hits a fly ball into right field. Matt Feinstein drifts over and will make the catch. So another out for John Clayton, and it's the first out here in the top of the second. That'll bring up the left fielder, Chuck Hooker.
And Hooker out of Warrington, Pennsylvania. He'll be playing his senior season at Alderson Broaddus College or University. I'm not really sure. Never heard of that place.
You don't hear that one every day. That one skied foul, but out of play. Jack Gonzalez gives it a good look, but no chance at that. Hooker batting .269. That's the 5th highest on the Trailblazers. Only 7 for 26 so far on the season. He does have 4 RBIs, and he only has 3 strikeouts. That one fouled straight back into the net, and it's a quick 0-2 count on Hooker.
And apparently Clayton didn't have a torn rotator cuff. It was a different injury. And we'll have to do a little bit more research on that. We apologize for giving false information, but whatever it was, he's back.
It's a 3-pitch strikeout for left fielder Chuck Hooker. And quick 2 outs here in the top of the second. Yeah, I talked to Clayton personally before the season, and
it was not too long ago we talked to him.
I was pretty sure that's what it was.
Well, as we said, we'll have to re-ask him about it, and
I'll go down and ask him in the dugout after this happening. That'll bring up the right fielder Rob Zarowski.
Zarowski out of Detroit, Michigan. And he's going into his sophomore year at Hillsdale College this upcoming season.
The 1-0 from Clayton. It's a rip deep to left field. Let's see if it stays in the park. It is a one-hopper up against the wall. Powers feels it and will throw in. So it's a big one-hopper double with 2 outs. A stand-up double there for Zarowski, and that's the first hit of the night for Adirondack.
Yeah, Clayton's first mistake so far, and Zarowski made him pay. Just a rocket out into left field, right over Connor Powers' head. Nothing he can do about it. But with 2 outs, we'll see if Clayton can pitch his way out of a jam to the upcoming 7-hitter in the Adirondack lineup, Cody Spotty. And Cody Spotty out of Pachogu, New York, going into his junior season at the University of Albany next year.
First pitch to him misses high, and the count now 1-0. Cody Spotty comes in hitting .190, 4 for 21 so far this year. Does have 3 RBIs so far.
Yeah.
As Austin Powell will go out and chat with John Clayton on how to keep his scoreless inning streak this year alive.
That's what I was going to say.
Took the words right out of your mouth.
You sure did, Beeks.
It's a quick chat from Powell.
So we're ready to resume baseball activities.
Clayton comes set, and he'll come home. That one fouled straight back behind home, so it's a 1-1 count.
And a big swing there from Cody Spotty.
Zorowski leads off second with 2 outs here in the top of the second. The 1-1 is a breaking ball fouled down the right field line, but it looks like Jack Gonzalez has room, and he will make the catch in foul territory. So Clayton able to get out of a little one-man in scoring position jam, and at the end of 1.5 innings of play, it's Stallions 3, Trailblazers nothing from the Morse Computer broadcast booth here at Cantine Field. And if you are a business owner, as my great partner, yeah,
if you own a business,
Curtis. There you go, Curtis.
Yeah, yeah. If you're a business owner, or if you own a business, and you would like to sponsor for the Stallions, please get in contact with us in any way. You could comment on this post. You could DM the Facebook page. You could, I believe there's a number that you can call on the Stallions homepage.
There is. If you visit SaugertiesStallions.com, you just visit Contact Us or Sponsorships, and all the information is
regardless,
there.
Whatever you got to do, and you would like to sponsor for the Stallions, please do so, and we will definitely be able to arrange that for you guys. And you could have a sign, or you could sponsor a certain play when it happens, or whatever, and you'll be able to get some great exposure, become a part of the Stallions family. As you can see in the broadcast, there's a lot of signs out in the outfield behind home plate. And we mentioned a couple different companies when certain things happen, and so it's a whole lot of exposure for your business. And as you said, you'd be helping out a local baseball team, and so really a win-win for everybody. So please contact us if you are interested in that. As Christopher Bull likes my business owner own a business comment. I appreciate that. Biko doesn't think it's real funny.
I do think it's very funny, Kurt. I think it's one of the best things you've said on the broadcast all year.
I personally agree with Christopher. I enjoy it, which is why I continue to say it, regardless of what you think.
The Stallions flip the order over again here as we start off the bottom of the second inning. Nick Campana, the center fielder, shows bunt, but takes one in the dirt for a ball. In the first inning, he popped out to second to start off the game for Saugerties. Little did he know that pop up to second would start a 3-run rally.
Absolutely.
He shows bunt again, but foul tips it back into Cody Spotty. So count 1-1.
Yeah, and I like the aggression from Campana. Even with showing bunt on the first pitch, he comes back and gives it another shot, really testing the Trailblazers' third baseman, Tyler Bruno, over there.
Yeah, and Bruno's still playing well behind third base. As the 1-1, another breaking ball that goes back to the backstop.
Yeah, Cody Spotty looking. That's a couple that he's dropped there. Looking like he's having a little trouble handling the ball every now and then.
2-1 fouled off out of play down the right field line. It also looks like he's not putting a ton of effort into it, which he can kind of do when there's no one on base.
Nobody on, You can rest up a little bit for when runners do get on base.
Here's the 2-2 to Campana. Fastball, it's a little chopper, but right back to Cashman, who underhand flips to first in time as Campana only got halfway to first.
He knew it was inevitable. Decided not to waste the energy.
That'll bring up the shortstop for the Stallions, Luke Pedersen. Pedersen 0 for 1 on the day, but he reached on an E6 and then came around to score on the Jack Gonzalez RBI infield single. Scored the first run of the night for Saugerties. And he hits a high fly ball, but foul out of play down the left field line. Just a long strike for Pedersen.
And Pedersen coming into this game batting .304. Also adding 9 runs and 7 RBIs to that line. One of the top Stallions hitters. And as you said before, 1 of 9 batting over 300.
He absolutely stroked that, but
so unfortunate for him.
Straight to Danny Abate at second base. So Pedersen hit the ball as hard as you can, unfortunately, straight to the Adirondack second baseman.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to get a little bit to the right. There's a pretty big gap in between first base and the second baseman. And, yeah, another foot or two to the right, and that would have been a straight shot to the right fielder for a base hit.
Matt Feinstein, the right fielder, will step in and take a breaking ball called strike. He's 1 for 1 on the day with his little bloop double back in the first, and he also came around to score on a bases loaded walk. That one nubbed, but into right field for another base hit. Feinstein now 2 for 2. He takes a big round, but he will hold up. He actually has to dive back to first. And he is out on the throw back to first base. Great play by Rob Zarowski. Feinstein took a big turn around first, and Zarowski threw it right to first base and was able to catch Feinstein. So it's a 1-2-3 inning, but
that is very unfortunate. I'm not exactly sure what Feinstein was doing out there. It looks like a single all the way. I don't think he had a chance at a double right from the get-go. And you know, they tell you to take as big a lead as you can, but that one he got way off and paid the price for it.
So at the end of 2 full innings of play, Stallions lead Adirondack Trailblazers 3-0 here from the Morris Computer Broadcast booth at Cantine Field. Yeah, you're right, Kurt. I mean, I saw it looked like he was thinking about stretching that into 2. You know, 2 outs, trying to jump into scoring position, but yeah, he got punished.
Well, yeah, wouldn't have been a bad idea. Definitely, I like the aggression for sure, but where that ball was, there was no shot of making it to second base really. I mean, the right fielder had the ball as he was rounding first base, and so you definitely want to stay cautious, especially with 2 outs.
Yeah, and it was a great throw from Zarowski right to the tag.
It did. It had to be a perfect throw.
And it was.
And it absolutely was.
And it was still a bang-bang play. He was clearly out, but it was a bang-bang play.
But so very, very unfortunate turn of events for the Stallions. But they got John Clayton back on the mound, who's been throwing extremely well. And he'll look to keep their 3-run lead at just that here at the top of the third.
We'll get to some of the comments here tonight as Clayton throws his final warm-up pitch and Powell throws down to second base. But it's great to see a lot of our friends here on the broadcast that are always tuning in, like Diane Tumillo and Anna Pasquariello-Turner, Larry Swart.
Remember I saw Melissa Smith earlier said, give the foam finger and hat to some of Frankie Peters' family members, which I think is a fantastic idea. And I think, Melissa, that we could probably manage to swing both of them. We could give one away to one of our viewers, but also that's a fantastic idea, and I'm definitely going to bring that up to either our VP Scott Wickham or owner Kevin Hinchy and see what we can do about that.
I agree, Kurt. As the center fielder Joe Simone steps into the box, it's 8-9-1 here to start off the top of the third against John Clayton. Simone has taken 2 balls so far, and he pops that one straight over our broadcast booth here on the third base side. Count now 2-1.
And Simone, the center fielder out of Thorndale, Texas, and he is going into his senior year at Texas Lutheran College this upcoming season.
Comes into the at-bat hitting .243 this summer as he rips one down the first base line, but foul. It was a breaking ball, and he was all over it just a little early.
Yep. So, scary foul ball, but turns out just to be a strike for Clayton.
Simone has scored the second most run for the Trailblazers with 7, only behind their third baseman, Tyler Bruno, who has scored 10. Simone also with 5 RBIs on the year. Takes a fastball up and away, and it's the first full count of the night for John Clayton. Clayton thus far has been able to get ahead of the Adirondack hitters very consistently. Payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Clayton. And it's the first out here in the top of the third.
So that'll bring up the 9 batter and shortstop, Brett Hubner. And he's out of Andover, Minnesota. And playing for Furman University, going into his junior year.
Hubner takes a breaking ball called strike at the knees.
And you're right about that, Beeks, with Clayton really getting ahead of the Adirondack hitters so far, and that's allowing him to mix in a lot of his other off-speed. As that one is fouled over to the first base side.
As we're talking about it, it's another 0-2 count for Clayton. He's been doing a great job, and it keeps your defense alive as, you know, walks and non-stop balls can kind of take the D out of it.
Yeah, they tend to get lazy, get bored out there. You know, that's why they're out there. They want to see some action. And that's another foul ball.
Yeah, Hubner able to spoil the 0-2. Fastball from Clayton challenged him, and the home plate umpire is already out of balls. There's been a lot of foul balls out of the park
here tonight. And yeah, not just the fielding thing too, but when you get up in the count, you know, you have a lot of flexibility for your pitches. You know, you can actually waste some, you could throw some out of the zone, hopefully getting them to chase, mix in the curveball or changeup a lot more. But when you fall behind, you know, your fastball is obviously the pitch you can locate the best. And so you lose that ability to mix in the off speed, which really throws off batters.
That fastball just misses the zone. Hubner comes in hitting .233, 7 for 30. 4 runs scored and 1 RBI on the year so far. 1-2. Breaking ball. It's a line drive into the right center field cap, but Nick Campana able to make the catch on the run, and there's 2 outs here in the top of the third for John Clayton.
Yeah, probably one of the most well-hit balls from a Trailblazers batter here so far tonight.
Yeah, right behind Zarowski's double. That one was stroked.
Absolutely. Just unfortunately right at the Stallion center fielder. So that's going to flip it back to the top of the lineup to number 19, Tyler Bruno. He was 0 for 1 here on the night.
Yeah, Bruno, the third baseman for Adirondack. Started the game off with a ground ball to Jeff Palczewski at second base. He rips one to third, and it goes right between the legs of John McKenna. So it'll be an E5 here with 2 outs to put Tyler Bruno on, and he'll stay at first base.
Yeah, and that one absolutely rocketed at McKenna. He managed to shuffle over just enough to get in front of the ball, but went right between the wickets. And fortunately, Connor Powers got there quick enough to allow it not to be a double. But no, the reactions weren't quite fast enough from McKenna there on that one. And so that's going to bring up the 2 batter, Danny Abate, second baseman for the Trailblazers. He is 0 for 1 on the night with a ground out to short.
Yeah, he hit one on the screws his first at-bat. It was a hard ground ball that Pedersen had to backhand. That fastball just misses outside, so Clayton does fall behind this count, 2-0.
And we'll see what the Trailblazers third base coach decides to do here. As man on first, and their 2 batter up, and it is their leadoff guy.
Bruno takes off. The throw from Powell in time. What a beautiful throw from Austin Powell. Bruno was 8 for 9 in stolen base attempts on the year.
I was just about to say it.
He's now 8 for 10.
Tyler Bruno was second in the entire PGCBL with 8 steals. Only been caught stealing 1 time, and Austin Powell with a beautiful throw right to the tag, exactly where you want it. And that's going to be Tyler Bruno's second caught stealing of the year.
So only 3 batters faced. Another funky inning here at Cantine Field as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning from the Morris Computers broadcast booth. Cantine Field in beautiful Saugerties, New York.
And looks like we got our interns and some side field shenanigans going on here at Cantine.
As always.
Always love the side field shenanigans. Bring out a couple of the local kids who are at the games and have them play these wacky games. This one looks like a little beach ball competition. They have to partner up and put a beach ball either between their butts or their backs. And got a race down to the interns. Really, it looked pretty funny while they're doing it. And only 3 teams there, so pretty good shot at winning.
And the head of the interns, Nick Perpetua, lost a nail biter in that one.
Yeah.
Lost to the youngins.
Absolutely, and when you get old, you know, your body's just not what it used to be. He's getting up there now.
Once you reach 19 years old.
He's 19 years old. His body's definitely starting to wear down after you can only do a certain amount of those beach ball races.
Yeah.
It starts to deteriorate.
The sport starts getting to you.
The youngins definitely a little bit more nimble and quick. And so that's going to bring us to some baseball activities.
Yeah, the Stallions' first baseman, Jack Gonzalez, will lead off the bottom of the third. He'll take his hacks off Kyle Cashman. Gonzalez 1 for 1 on the day with an RBI single. He ropes one down the right field line for a base hit. Gonzalez is going to round second. He's round first. He's going towards second. He's going to round second. He's going towards third. The throw from the cutoff man will be not in time. It's a stand-up leadoff triple here for Jack Gonzalez.
And Jack Gonzalez wasting no time going up there, smacking the first pitch of the inning down the right field line, and that's a perfect spot for a triple, as it is. It's pretty deep out there. I think 330 out to that right field line, and it took a really long time for the Adirondack right fielder to get there. And Gonzalez just chugging right out of the batter's box and earned himself a triple there.
Yeah, Gonzalez not necessarily known for his speed on the Stallions team. Hasn't tried to steal a base yet, but once he got his momentum going, he was going pretty quick around the bases. That'll bring up the DH on the night, Tyler Kelder. He's 0 for 0 on the night. He got plunked back in the first inning. Ended up being stranded on third base.
And so Gonzalez sparking off this inning for the Stallions, and Kelder just looking to put the ball in play somewhere, and the Stallions will take a 4-run lead.
He skies that one down the right field line. We'll see if it stays in fair territory, but it lands just foul in the Adirondack bullpen. Yeah, the Trailblazers with the infield backs, although trading out for a run, although they're already down 3. And like you said, a fly ball to the outfield should get Gonzalez in as well.
Yep. And Kelder, if you didn't hear before in his last at-bat when I said it, had a home run last night. And so if he has a similar mindset here, if he shoots for the fences, and even if he misses, it's a sac fly.
It's a bomb into deep right field. Rob Zarowski back and will make the catch right in front of the track. He'll just throw the ball into second as Jack Gonzalez can skip home. So it's a deep RBI sac fly for Tyler Kelder, and the Stallions take a 4-0 lead.
That's exactly what I was saying. All Kelder had to do was really just, I mean, he could swing for the fences there. And as I said, even if he didn't put one over the fence, he was still going to get an RBI out of it. And that's exactly what happened. Gonzalez, as you said, could have skipped home. He decided not to skip.
I don't know why.
He just jogged. I'm not sure why. He definitely could have skipped.
When you have the option to skip, you skip around the bases.
You might as well skip.
Connor Powers
settled for just running home.
The left fielder hits a deep fly ball to left, but that one will be caught on the track by Chuck Hooker. So two absolute rips for the Stallions to both warning tracks. Both fly balls, though.
And so that's going to bring up the third baseman, number 33, John McKenna, who already has a strikeout on the night in his first at-bat.
Yeah, McKenna got up with the bases loaded and 1 out and had a nice battle against Cashman, but then ended up being called out on strikes on a breaking ball that was debatable.
Quite questionable, to say the least.
He gets another breaking ball to start off this at-bat, but that one misses.
And also had an error last inning. Fortunately, John Clayton was able to pitch his way out of it, and you'll love to see when you make an error and your pitcher picks you up. And so McKenna now looking to see if he can make up for that.
Yeah, it's one of the worst feelings as being a fielder and making an error that ends up costing your team runs, especially if it ends up affecting the game.
But McKenna's error, I mean, that ball was absolutely ripped, so it was an error, but it was a real tough one. You know, it would have been a fantastic play if he made it.
1-2 to McKenna. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. So that's the second strikeout for him of the night. But the Stallions able to score one more run on the Jack Gonzalez leadoff triple and then the Tyler Kelder sac fly. And at the end of 3 full innings of play, it's 4-0 Saugerties over Adirondack from the Morris Computer broadcast booth here at Cantines Field.
And we're going to show you our fantastic prize here. Once again, I'll put on the little thingy and also the cap. I already got one for myself, but I'll put this one on for you as well.
You got to know what they both look like.
It's on the wrong hand as well, but that's all right. I can't really control it too well
because it's on your left hand.
Why don't you explain to the people why I'm wearing this stuff?
We're wearing this stuff because your comment tonight could win this stuff right off of Kurt's hand and right off of Kurt's head.
It's only moderately sweaty, so.
Oh man, don't worry. We'll throw the foam finger in the wash after it's on Kurt's hand. A random comment will be chosen in the 9th inning tonight, and we'll pack these 2 up and mail them right to you, or you could pick them up at the stadium, whichever is
to you.
Right to you.
Directly to your home. From me to you. And this could be yours.
Yeah, whatever's easier for you. Like you said, you could comment anything you like. It can be where you're watching from, what you think of the game, what you think of us, what you think of the players, what you think of the world. Something about
anything really. Current events that you think we should really know about. It's the summer, so I don't keep up on my current events as much as I should. So if you can inform me on what's going on in the world, that'd be two birds in one stone right there.
So Austin Powell throws on down to second, and we're about ready to get this top of the 4th done. As I'll take your memorabilia off, Kurt.
There you go.
Big thanks to all the commenters and everyone who shared the video so far tonight.
Yeah, and along with the comment, if you're commenting, if you could also like and share our broadcast, we would greatly appreciate that. Trying to get as much exposure for us and the Stallions as we can, and sharing and liking this post is a great way to do that. So please, if you could, just like and share, and we would be 2 happy broadcasters up here.
Oh, for sure. It's 2-3-4 here to hit against Clayton in the top of the 4th, as Danny Abate was up with 2 outs and Tyler Bruno in the top of the 3rd, but then Bruno was thrown out at second trying to steal on Austin Powell, which is never a good idea.
Absolutely not. It was probably a perfect throw, I'd say, from Powell. Got it out of his glove real quick, put it exactly where you want it, and from what I can see here, Austin made his mama and all of Star City proud in Arkansas. So
love to see that.
Good to see the support from Winnie Powell and his mama.
And Mike Powell says, "That's my boy. Don't try him."
You
got to listen to Mike Powell.
Yeah. They know what they're talking about. They've been watching him probably since he was a youngin. Unfortunately, the Trailblazers didn't have that scouting report yet.
Yeah, they didn't get the scouting report from Austin's parents. Here comes a 2-2 from Clayton. Breaking ball, swing and a miss in the dirt. Powell will tie the tag. Apply the tag.
Little tongue twister there, Beeks.
That one really
5 times fast.
That one really got me. Danny Abate goes down swinging for the first out here in the bottom of the 1st. That'll bring up the DH, Lou Matarazzo. Lou struck out looking to end the 1st inning.
Yeah, Clayton's still pitching extremely well. That's his 4th strikeout of the night.
Yeah, 4 strikeouts, no walks. Is that one way high? He came into the game thrown 7 scoreless so far for the Stallions. He's now added 3 1/3 more.
And Lou Matarazzo, who's currently at the plate, actually from the same hometown as our own Connor Powers, a left fielder, who he almost just hit it to for that single.
Yeah, that one, a little flare into center field that Campana out there couldn't do anything but take it on a hop. So it's a 1-out single for Matarazzo. And that'll bring up the first baseman, John Boswell. He's 0 for 1 tonight with a fly out to right field. It's only the 2nd hit of the night for Adirondack off Clayton.
And Boswell, one of the better Trailblazer hitters so far this year. Coming into this game batting .306.
Takes a big swing and a miss at a bouncer.
And also adds 5 runs and 7 RBIs to that stat line. And only striking out 5 times in 36 at-bats, which is pretty impressively low strikeout rate. So puts the ball in play a whole lot.
He hits a little nubber fouled on the first base line on that breaking ball, count 0-2. Matarazzo over at first, 1 for 1 on the year in stolen base attempts. But after Powell threw out Adirondacks' best base stealer, we'll see if
I don't know if the Trailblazers are looking to give away any more outs here tonight, especially being down 4 runs.
0-2. It's a line drive into right field for a base hit. Feinstein will throw it in all the way to second, and that's where Matarazzo will stay. So it's 2 back-to-back singles here with 1 out in the bottom of the 4th. That'll bring up the left fielder, Chuck Hooker. Hooker 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout swinging back in the 2nd inning.
And Hooker also having a pretty good season for the Trailblazers, batting .269 through 8 games coming into this one. Only with 2 runs and 4 RBIs though. But with a runner in scoring position, could potentially add to that right now.
Stallions choking up the middle, looking to turn 2. At the corners, they're playing back. He skies one into deep right center field. It's going to be a long run for Feinstein and Campana. Feinstein will make the catch. Matarazzo tags from second, and the throw will not be made by Pedersen, the cutoff man.
And
so
good, great decision there from Pedersen not to throw it. If it was a perfect throw from him, would have been a bang play, but it was probably the better decision just to try to eat that ball and possibly try to psych out Chuck Hooker over at first base, see if he could get him to try to run to second on it.
Yeah, he also had a tough angle. He was kind of right behind Matarazzo.
Yeah, probably would have hit him right in the back.
Exactly. That'll bring up the right fielder, Rob Zarowski. He's 1 for 1 on the night with a booming double. Back in the 2nd inning, he one-hopped the left field wall.
And Juice Mandel here saying, "I smell a strikeout." And right now, I think I smell chicken tenders, but we'll see about that strikeout.
It's not a strikeout. It's a deep fly ball into center, but Nick Campana is back and will make the catch. So John Clayton remains perfect this year when it comes to not allowing runs. He'll trot back into the dugout, getting out of the 1st and 3rd jam. And after 3.5 innings here, it's still 4-0 Stallions over the Trailblazers from the Morris broadcast booth here at Cantine Field.
And we're going to see Stanley the Stallion come out and do some dancing for our fans.
Danny Sullivan says everyone watching should donate for Frankie. Yeah, tonight is the game's being played for Frankie Peters, who is a long time
for all of my lifetime at least.
Mine as well, of course.
Has been at every baseball game I can think of, and unfortunately recently passed away. Frankie, definitely beloved by most of Saugerties.
Always
loved himself some baseball and some Beatles.
And Tigers.
And Tigers. He liked himself all of those things. So, most of the time, all 3 at once.
Yeah.
He'll be wearing a Tiger shirt, listening to the Beatles on his headset, and watching some baseball, and just absolutely loving life.
He was a great guy. I don't know if he ever even learned my name. He called me Big Tiger probably my entire life.
Oh, we called everybody Big Tiger, but he still would know who you were, regardless, even if he didn't know your name.
Oh yeah, he'd light up every time he saw me. Frankie was always probably our #1 fan for Saugerties Legion.
I would say so. And as we said, this game is dedicated to him because he unfortunately recently passed away.
Just this week.
And Danny Sullivan saying everyone watching should donate for Frankie, and I agree. Trying to raise some money for, I believe, his funeral coming up. And he didn't have a whole lot of money, so it would be greatly appreciated if people we could raise a little bit so to get Frankie the funeral he deserves.
It's 8-9-1 here in the bottom of the fourth for Saugerties. Austin Powell, the catcher, is 0 for 0 on the night, but his walk was an RBI walk, as he's quickly 0-2 against Cashman. Walked with 2 outs back in the first to force home Jack Gonzalez. And he calls time. Richard McVeigh Sr. says Austin Powell is number 1. Good support for the hitter.
Yeah, I believe he's number 7, actually, from looking at him right now.
I don't think that's what he means, though, Kurt.
But could be number 1 in Richard's heart.
0-2 fastball, called strike. That's right. So that's a 3-pitch strikeout to start out the bottom of the fourth for Cashman. Powell did not agree with the call, but nonetheless,
definitely looked questionable.
Nonetheless, it'll bring up the second baseman, Jeff Palczewski. Palczewski 0 for 1 on the night with a fly out to shallow center that was caught by the shortstop, Brett Huber. He takes a breaking ball for a called strike.
And Cashman looking like he's calmed down a bit after that rough first inning. He's locating his fastball a little better and dropping the curveballs in there for strikes.
Yeah, after the first where it was a few unearned runs, but still he walked in 2 runs himself as that breaking ball misses, and he hasn't walked a batter since then.
Nope. And Cashman out of Hicksville, New York. And he's going into his senior year at Pace University.
It's a chopper foul down the left field line. Juice Mandelaire says, God bless Frankie. He was a great guy. Rest in peace, Tiger. Here comes the 1-2 to Palczewski. Breaking ball flied into deep right center or left center field. Chuck Hooker is over there and will make the catch. And there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the fourth.
So that's going to flip it back to the top of the lineup for number 14, Nick Campana, who is 0 for 2 on the night with a pop out to second and a ground out back to the pitcher.
Yeah, Campana, one of the hotter Stallions this season, comes in batting .327, and he pops that one foul behind home plate. We'll see if Cadaspati can get it, but it ends up landing right on top of the backstop.
Yep. And that .327 is actually good for 14th in the entire PGCBL. And along with that, he's got 17 runs for the Stallions, which is first in the PGCBL, and 6 doubles, which is also first. So he's leading in quite a few categories, and definitely one of the standout hitters for the Stallions.
Pops that one to short. It'll be caught over there by Huber, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Cashman, who has settled in here. And at the end of 4 full innings, it's still 4-0 Saugerties from the Morse Computer broadcast booth here at Cantine Field.
You want to check out some comments, Beaks?
Oh, this is a terrific time to check out the comments.
See what our fans are saying.
Been flying by, and we haven't been able to get to them all at all. Brandon Doss from our club baseball team, our leadoff hitter, says club baseball could rock these kids.
Nah. Bold statement there from Brandon Doss. I like the confidence.
I love the confidence.
Absolutely. But as many of you know, me and Biko are both on the Syracuse club baseball team, and with only practicing once a week,
we get twice a week sometimes.
And every now and then we'll practice twice a week. But we would have a lot of work to do to put up a crooked number against these kids.
Larry Swart comments 1 for Frankie. Everything tonight for sure is for Frankie.
You bet. And go up a little bit, Beaks. I think some of the people were commenting on our weight, and I definitely want to.
We'll get to that.
I definitely want to get to that for sure.
Cynthia Yeager-McVeigh says Jonesboro, Arizona loves Austin Powell. Austin Powell, definitely one of the most loved Stallions.
Absolutely. He's got a lot of support from all around the country. Big
thanks to Anna Pasquariello Turner, who said already shared and liked. Love the support. Thank you so much.
Definitely keep getting up there. I wanna see this this weight comment here. I saw it before. Oh, there it is. Bob Napoleon, who we actually just met, one of our loyal broadcast watchers.
It was tremendous to see Bob.
Great to be at Cantine. We met him. He said camera puts 5 pounds on each of you. And I was gonna say something about my own weight, saying I could use the extra 5 pounds, but then Eric Schrewer beat me to it, saying that pushes them to 135 pounds each. And to Schrewer, I'll have you know, I'm 172.
Oh, big guy.
And so just a little off with your estimate.
It's 7-8-9 here to start off the top of the 5th. The catcher, Matt Cottaspati, steps in. He's 0 for 1 on the night with a pop out to first in foul territory.
And I can't say the same for Biko. I don't know how much he weighs, but you might have been more in the ballpark with him.
You're 10 pounds off. I'm a solid 145. Oh, man.
Eric Schrewer,
that pushes them up to 135 each.
He won one of our promotions earlier on, and I'm regretting that a little bit now.
2-1, breaking ball just misses, so it's a 3-1 count here on Cottaspati. It's a rip down the third base line, but foul. So it's a 3-2 count now on Cottaspati.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me. That's Jonesboro, Arkansas, not Arizona.
Turns out Biko doesn't know his state abbreviations.
I thought AR was Arizona. I should have known it was Arkansas, though.
That's all right. We all make mistakes.
Broadcasters failing you tonight.
Yeah.
Here's the
second false information we've given.
Payoff pitch is way up, so that's the first walk of the night for Clayton. It's a leadoff walk to Cottaspati. That's also only his second walk of the year. That'll bring up the center fielder, Joe Simone. He's 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout.
And this is the first time that a runner has been on base with no outs for Clayton, so we'll see how he responds.
As we've mentioned before, Clayton has yet to give up a run this year. He's working on 11 scoreless innings so far as a Stallion. Simone takes a breaking ball high, count 1 out. Cottaspati 0 for 1 on the year in stolen base attempts. So another man not too likely to run on AP behind home. That fastball is a called strike at the knees. Count now 1-1.
And Cottaspati coming into this game batting 190. And only 1 run and 3 RBIs to add to that. So looking to break out a little bit here against the Stallions.
It's a breaking ball low to the Adirondack center fielder. Count now 2-1. That one popped, but foul and out of play down the left field line. So it's a 2-2 count now on Simone.
But a little note with Cottaspati's average. He's only had 21 at-bats so far. So with such a small sample size, just a couple hits could skyrocket that and drastically change it.
It's a common theme with these Adirondack guys. They've been a lot more guys sharing the playing time. So a lot of their at-bats are down compared to the Stallions, where you have guys in the, 50 at-bats like Campana and Gonzalez, but nobody's had even more than 40 at-bats yet for Adirondack.
Absolutely. So you can look at their averages, but they're a little less relevant because they haven't had as much time, at the plate.
2-2, breaking ball called, strike 3 at the knees. Simone can't believe it. But that's the 5th strikeout on the night for Clayton, and the first out here in the top of the 5th for him.
And a beautiful pitch there from Clayton, and that's exactly what he wanted there with giving up that leadoff walk. And as I said, first time runner has been on base with no outs, and a strikeout is a great way to minimize the threat from the Trailblazers.
So it's the shortstop and 9-hitter, Brett Hubner. Steps up. He's 0 for 1 on the night with a fly out to center. He takes a fastball high for a ball.
And Hubner coming into this game batting .233.
He fouls that one back into the netting behind home.
And he's had 30 at-bats. And adding only 4 runs and 1 RBI to that. So again, looking to break out a little bit for him. Adirondack actually has the second worst batting average of all the teams as a team, batting .225.
That one tomahawked on a fly out into right field, but caught by Matt Feinstein out there. So that's the second out here in the top of the 5th. It'll flip the batting order over to the top, and Tyler Bruno, the third baseman. He's 0 for 2 on the night with a ground out to second. He reached on an E5. It was an absolute rip to John McKenna over at third that stuck through his legs, but then he was caught stealing by Austin Powell.
And Bruno adding to that .225 team batting average for Adirondack, coming into this game batting .250.
He takes a breaking ball for a called strike.
But also he's got 10 runs to go with that, so doing a good job at the leadoff position, being able to get on base and having the guys behind him hit him in.
Yeah, he does lead the Trailblazers in runs scored by 3. As that one just misses outside, count now 1-1.
And also with 9 walks. And so even though the batting average is, 250 is not bad, but adding 9 walks to that as well is on-base percentage has got to be right where it should be for a leadoff guy.
He takes a good hack at the 1-1 and fouls it straight back. The home plate umpire is once again out of baseballs, as there's been a tremendous amount of foul balls out of Cantine Field tonight so far.
And so now with 2 strikes and 2 outs, we hear the Psycho Shark music being played from our sound guy.
Dan Passante always on it. Here comes the 1-2 from Clayton. It's a fly ball into right field. Matt Feinstein takes a few steps in and a few steps back, and he'll make the catch right where he started. So after the leadoff walk, John Clayton gets 3 in a row, and at the end of 4.5 innings, it's still 4-0 Saugerties over Adirondack. From the Moore's Computer Broadcast booth here at Cantine Field, we're going to the bottom of the 5th.
Next up, one of our interns' favorites.
And here we go. We got some side field shenanigans going on this inning.
As always.
As always, really exciting to watch. I wish we had a camera that we could show you what's going on over there, but we'll just commentate it. Commentate it as best we can.
Really pronounce that one.
Commentate it. And it looks like it's going to be a potato sack race, but with a spin. Pun intended. They're out there doing a little dizzy bat before they hop in their sacks.
See what you did there.
Yeah. Thanks, Beaks. I definitely need you to back me up on some of these jokes. Not sure if they hit or miss. And there's three contestants out there. One of them with a significant lead. The other one pretty far behind. The other one, he just kind of fell down and didn't move. He just laid there.
He wiped out of the gates. Went straight down.
And that's got to be a painful loss for him. You know, training so hard to come into this potato sack race. You know, you work hard all off season, and then to have a poor showing like that.
Yeah.
That's got to be a terrible feeling for him.
Yeah, you only get so many shots here at Cantine Field. You're not in the potato sack race every
you
night.
You never know when you're gonna get another potato sack race in.
You get your call up to the bigs. You can't trip right out of the gates and knock it up.
Yeah, absolutely. And his coach is going to be upset with that. You know, not even putting in the effort to get back up.
Yeah, well,
so we'll see if he retains his starting position for the potato sack race in the future. But
some people are born to potato sack race. Some people aren't.
Some people aren't. He definitely looks like like he may need to find another hobby.
It'll be 2, 3, 4 here in the bottom of the 5th for the Stallions. Pedersen, Feinstein, and Gonzalez as the shortstop steps in and takes a fastball high. Luke 0 for 2 on the night. Reached on an error back in the 1st and came around to score. He also hit a laser straight into the glove of Danny Abate over at second base in the 2nd inning. He hits a ground ball to second. Abate fields it on a couple hops and throws to first in time for the first out here in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, so as I was saying before, Cashman, with that rough first inning, and then other than that, has been doing pretty well so far against the Stallions. Letting him put the ball in play, but his fielders for the most part are there to back him up.
So the right fielder, Matt Feinstein, will step into the box. He's 2 for 2 on the night with a double and a single. Also scored a run back in the 1st. He takes a fastball high.
And Stallions only with 4 hits on the night, and all of them coming from their 3-4 batters. So a great showing from the meat of their lineup so far tonight.
That fastball a little up and in, but a called strike on Feinstein. He has some words for the home plate umpire to find out if that's as far as the zone goes. Here's the 1-1. Fouled straight back into the netting. Count quickly 1-2 now.
And so Cashman coming into his windup.
Fastball misses inside, so the count now even at 2-2.
And so Feinstein looking to just choke up and put the ball in play somewhere right now.
2-2. Breaking ball just misses high. Count now full at 3-2. Feinstein, as we've mentioned all year so far, has a terrific eye. He really battles up there.
Yeah, actually, looks like he's leading the Stallions with 16 walks.
Takes a fastball inside. That's 17 walks.
That's going to make it 17. Add to that lead. Next closest behind him is Nick Campana and John McKenna with 12, and so he's got a significant lead on that walks statistic.
So the first baseman Jack Gonzalez will step into the box. As Kurt just said, he's got the other 2 hits in the night for Saugerties. He's 2 for 2 with an RBI single and a triple. He led off the 3rd with that booming triple down the right field line. He's scored both times. He also has an RBI, as I said. Yeah, Feinstein 17 walks, 2nd in the PGCBL, only to Christ Conley of the Jamestown Jammers.
And Gonzalez, their 4-hitter, as you said, added another 2 hits tonight and coming into this game batting .291. So a really good season so far for him. And that's in 55 at bats, so it's not like some of those other guys who have a small sample size. He's been playing for a while. And also adding 10 runs and 13 RBIs, which, is, as I said before, is good for 5th in the entire PGCBL. So you can always count on a pretty solid night from the Stallions cleanup man.
Cashman working from the set. Feinstein with a good lead on first. He takes off for second. It's a throw on down, and not in time. So Matt Feinstein with a stolen base. It was a one-hopper, and the ball couldn't be handled over there by Brett Hubner.
And actually, Beeks, it did look like the ball was in time. Feinstein not with the best jump in the world that I've ever seen, and the ball one-hopped, and as I said, looked like it got there in time, but the man covering looks like he just couldn't catch it, tried to put down the tag a little too quick, and Feinstein is in there for a stolen base.
It's a bouncer over to first. It'll be a flip on to Cashman, who is there in time. Feinstein will get over to third on the ground ball to the right side. So there's 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 5th. That'll bring up the DH Tyler Kelder. Kelder still 0 for 0 on the day, although both of his at-bats have been meaningful. He was hit by a pitch in the 3-run first inning rally, and then he had a long sac fly to bring in Gonzalez in the third.
And even with Gonzalez out there, that's definitely not the worst out in the world because, as you said, he moved Feinstein over to third, which with 2 outs eliminates the possibility of a sac fly for Kelder. But now if there's a pass ball or a wild pitch or something like that, that could bring in Feinstein. So even though it is an out, it's still a productive out for the Stallions.
It's going to be an 0-1 on Kelder. He checks his swing. The appeal on to second says he didn't go around, so the count now 1-1.
And Kesher is saying a few words to the umpire after that one. Thought it might have been a strike even without the appeal down to the first base ump.
Kelder with the best batting average on the team for everybody not named Matt Pichard, who's only 2 for 4. He checks his swing again. This time the home plate umpire takes matters into his own hands and says he did go around, so it's a 1-2 count on Kelder.
Yeah, Kelder being a little indecisive at the plate up there, as that's his 3rd straight check swing, so can't decide whether he wants to hack at these pitches or not. But with 2 strikes, now he's got to become a little more decisive up there.
He hacks at a high fastball. That was a pretty monstrous cut from Kelder. At one at his eyes, but he's able to spoil it anyway.
Yeah, that one he said, no more check swings. I'm going to hit the ball regardless of where it is. And managed to spoil a strikeout. And he's up there again for another chance.
Kelder, only in his 2nd week on the team, joined a couple Sundays ago from Kingston High School from their Final 4 run at the state tournament. He's batting .375 though, as the 1-2 is a breaking ball and Kelder doesn't chase. He's 6 for 15. He already has 7 RBIs too, and only a couple weeks of play, he's already 3rd on the team in RBIs. Added his 8th tonight.
And I like that last pitch there from Cashman. A little curveball out of the zone, see if he can get Kelder to chase.
That one ripped into left center field, and it's going to fall for extra bases. Feinstein can skip home if he'd like. Kelder is motoring into second, and he'll round but stay right there. So Tyler Kelder rips a high fastball for an RBI double, and the Stallions take a 5-0 lead.
Yeah, and as you said, Beeks, that one was right up there with that other pitch around his eyeballs that he fouled off before, and we thought he might have just been trying to spoil a strikeout, but it turns out it looks like that's where he really likes to hit the ball. Just tomahawks it out into left center field for a double.
Yeah, I played a few years of travel ball with Kelder, and I'll tell you what, he does love the ball up in the zone, and he'll hit the ball a mile.
Definitely cannot leave it hanging up there for Tyler Kelder. And so that's going to bring up Connor Powers, who is 0 for 1 on the night with an RBI walk.
He hits a ground ball to second, and he'll be thrown out, but the damage is done. Tyler Kelder with a booming RBI double to bring home Feinstein, and the Stallions lead Adirondack 5-0 after 5 full innings of play here from the Morris Computer Broadcast booth at Cantines Field. We're going to the top of the 6th. 5-0 Saugerties.
And what do you think, Beeks? You want to show these nice people something that they could win here tonight?
Got to remind them what's on the line,
There's
because their comment could win this.
some extremely important stuff going on here in the Morris Computer Broadcast booth. Beeka's going to show you. We got this fantastic Saugerties Stallions foam finger, and Saugerties Stallions hat. It's a little fan combo pack you can have. You can rock the hat and the foam finger.
Yeah, we figured what's better than one giveaway tonight. We'll make it 2.
We'll make it 2. I mean, we were thinking originally just a foam finger, but I mean that's not a real great value. So we threw the hat in on top of it. Pun intended.
You are on fire tonight.
Really rocking the puns tonight. And yeah, so all you got to do is just comment on this post. And me and Biko had a predetermined number comment that we are going to give this away to, and we'll pack it up and ship it right to you if you can't make it to Saugerties for us to give it to you personally. And as I said, one low price. All you got to do is just comment on this post.
It's no price. It's priceless.
If you'd like to throw a like or possibly even a share on this post as well, that'd be greatly appreciated. It's only the comment that'll get you the chance to win. But while you're at it, I mean, the like and the comment button and the share, all right in a row.
That'll make it. That's for good karma.
Might as well just go for the triple whammy and get me and Beeks a little bit of exposure.
And give the Saugerties Stallions a little bit of exposure.
Especially the Saugerties Stallions.
Only in their 3rd year as an organization, as it'll be 2-3-4 here for Adirondack in the top of the 6th inning. Danny Abate takes a breaking ball for a called strike. He's 0 for 2 on the night with a ground out to short and a strikeout swinging back in the 4th. He takes a fastball just below the knees for a ball, so count 1-1. As our game's going on tonight, Kurt, we also got the NBA draft going on, so it's an exciting night for sports.
Yeah, some important stuff going on there. A lot of moves being made by a bunch of different teams.
Yeah, Jimmy Butler traded to, I believe it was the Wolves.
An interesting turn of events, because it looked like he was possibly going to maybe go to the Cavs and play with LeBron, or some championship caliber team that could have used him.
Yeah, he did go to the Timberwolves, though, as the 1-2 is fouled back onto Washington Ave. Abate able to spoil that one. The number 1 overall pick was pretty much what was expected all year long. It was Markelle Fultz to the Sixers, who traded with the Celtics to be able to do that from 3-1.
Yeah, then they're they haven't been doing so hot as of late, but with a lot of young talent, all of them under, I believe, 23 years old. They say trust the process, and it looks like that is possibly working out for him.
They do say trust the process. And then, of course, Lonzo Ball, probably the most hyped player in the draft, went to his desired Lakers.
Yeah, I wonder why.
As another 2-2 there was spoiled by Abate.
Might have a little something to do with his dad, LeVar, and all of his media antics.
Lonzo, a pretty quiet guy himself, but LeVar is a little outspoken.
To say the least.
Jason Tatum actually went 3rd overall before Josh Jackson, as another one is spoiled by Abate. That one actually got into the VIP section.
Finds its way through the netting somehow, and fortunately bounces onto the concrete in there.
Yeah, it was greeted by screams from the VIPs.
Pretty close to a couple of teenage girls in there who, as Biko said, heard some high-pitched screams.
So it's another 2-2, and it's a swing and a miss. Good battle up there by Abate, but he strikes out for the 2nd time tonight to Clayton. That'll bring up the DH, Lou Matarazzo. Matarazzo 1 for 2 on the night. He struck out looking back in the 1st, but then singled and was stranded on 3rd in the 4th.
And I was saying this before, but he hit the ball before I could really talk about it too much. Lou Mazzaratu out of Rockville Center, New York, which is also where the Stallions left fielder Connor Powers is from. And so I just noticed that when I was finding their hometowns earlier on. Don't know if they know each other. Chances are they probably played with each other at some point, or at least knew of each other. And so a little hometown rivalry going on between the two, I would say, tonight.
Well, 1-1 to Mazzarato. Foul tipped into Austin Powell's gloves. The count now 1-2. Jeffrey Palczewski says, I thought it was safe above the VIP section. It's no place is safe here at Cantine Field.
You can be behind all the netting in here, and the ball will still manage to find a way to get near you.
1-2, swing and a miss. Another strikeout for John Clayton. It was just a little flail up there by Matarazzo, who couldn't catch up to the heat. So 2 strikeouts here for 2 outs in the top of the 6th. That'll bring up the first baseman, John Boswell. Boswell also 1 for 2 on the night. He flew out to right field and then singled back in the 4th.
And continuing off of Palczewski's comment, you were really not safe anywhere. Even me and Biko up in the broadcast booth got to watch out, especially on lefties. We're on the third base side, and there's been some baseballs that have just missed, hit right above us, hit right below our booth, and one even managed to find its way through the window and landed, put a hole in the wall behind us.
Yeah, we've got a couple holes throughout the drywall of the broadcast booth, which includes our PA announcers and all of our media.
Our PA announcer, Rob Vanderbeck, got in the habit last year of bringing his baseball glove to the games when he's announcing, just because he's so nervous about the balls flying in here. Fortunately, nothing like that's happened this year yet. But yeah, last year was definitely pretty scary. Always had to be on your toes.
It's an 0-2 count on Boswell. Clayton looking to strike out the side here. Fastball high, but the first baseman doesn't bite.
Yeah, great idea there from Clayton. Up 0-2, he definitely has some pitches to waste, and especially the way he's been controlling all his other pitches, he can throw a strike at will. And so a high fastball is definitely not the worst idea in the world.
That one, a little chopper down the third base line foul, and I thought it was a broken bat at first. It is a broken bat.
Oh, it absolutely is a broken bat. But barely. He's really got probably an inch or two of the handle, and it's still in his hand, and the rest of the bat went flying down the third baseline at the Adirondack third base coach.
Yeah, it's almost a complete bat that made it down the line in foul territory. I mean, I've never seen that much of a bat break off.
It was, as Vigo said, he thought it was a full baseball bat that went down the line, but once we got looking, the bigger part of the handle still in his hand. So Clayton absolutely destroying that bat, and that's going to be brought to you, as Georgia Teeter said, call Williams Lumber. That's going to be brought to you by Williams Lumber.
Thanks, Georgia Teeter.
If you break your baseball bat and need some more lumber, or if you need lumber for other things, you can call Williams Lumber in Saugerties, and they'll help you out.
That one was ripped to third, but McKenna able to block it. He throws the ball past Gonzalez at first, though, so Boswell will get to second on the E5. It was a great stop over there on third by McKenna. It was absolutely tattooed. He was able to body it, but then it went up the first base line and all the way to the fence on the throw.
Yeah, actually a pretty interesting play there. As you said, McKenna able to body it, hit into his glove and popped up into the air, and managed to snag it out of the air, but then had to try to rush the throw a little bit and put it just in front of Gonzalez. Gonzalez couldn't block the ball, and so now I believe that's Boswell is standing on second base, bringing up the 5-hitter Chuck Hooker, and Hooker 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout and a fly out to right field.
Clayton trying to keep Adirondack scoreless here. He's holding on to a 5-0 lead in his 6th inning of work. Came into the game throwing 7 scoreless so far for the Stallions. He's added 5 2/3 more. So that one bounces in front of home plate. The run on second would not be earned, but Clayton has yet to give up an unearned run either, so stat still on the line for the UAlbany starter. 1-0. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. And the count 1-1. He got Hooker on the curveball in the dirt. Kalen Nadal says, my 2-year-old wants to know where the horsey is. He loves the Stallion mascot. The horsey, Stanley the Stallion, is right down the third base line, hanging out with kids. As that's a rip, and it's going to go off of the umpire into Pedersen's glove at short and on to first for an out.
What a wacky play that was.
That one was absolutely stroked, but Luke Pedersen can thank the second base umpire for taking it off the thigh before it ricocheted to Pedersen, who was able to make the play.
And Biko, if he hadn't just hit the ball, I was about to tell Kayla Nadell that if I wasn't mistaken, Stanley Stallion would be coming out to do the YMCA after that very inning, and I was right. Stanley looks like he's going to go out there, the whole bunch of our interns, and lead this crowd in the YMCA. Hopefully we can get a good camera angle of that for your two-year-old. I'm looking over at our broadcast camera angle person over there, and we got a 2-year-old who wants to see Stanley the Stallion on TV if there's a camera that can show him, and unfortunately it looks like there is not. So you're just going to have to take our word for it, unfortunately.
Stanley looks great. I'm very sorry, Kayla Nadell.
Stanley's out there. We can, if the camera's on us right now, which I believe it is, we can do the YMCA for you. And
that's right.
That'll, that's not a good substitute, but it's something.
We'll see if we can get Stanley up in the broadcast booth tonight at some point. There you go.
And unfortunately, I don't have the headset, so. It's a little more awkward for me, but it was something.
It was something.
As Biko said, we'll try to get Stanley up here in the broadcast booth to do some of his antics for you guys.
It'll be 7-8-9 for the Stallions here in the bottom of the 6th. They come into the inning leading 5-0. John McKenna, the third baseman, will take his hacks against Kyle Cashman, who's coming into his 6th inning of work. There is action in the Adirondack bullpen as McKenna takes a breaking ball for a called strike. John McKenna 0 for 2 on the night with a called strikeout and then a swinging strikeout. And he fouls that one off himself. He's down 0-2.
And Georgia Teeter saying, okay, we need another camera for the live shenanigans as well. And I 110% agree with that.
We'll talk to Dave Morris.
We'll talk to our camera guy. And yeah, it's a lot of fun commentating them for you guys, but it's a whole nother experience actually getting to watch them for yourself. And so we'll definitely work on that in the future.
The 0-2 is a line drive into right field, but it hangs up and will be caught in the air by Rob Zarowski. So McKenna able to get good bat on ball, but unfortunately for him, just laces it right at the right fielder. That'll bring up the catcher, Austin Powell. Powell 0 for 1 on the day with an RBI walk and a strikeout looking.
Yep, and along with that RBI walk, Powell adding a little defensive help as well. Been a brick wall behind home plate and been calling a good game for Clayton. And also threw out the one runner who tried to steal for the Trailblazers. Absolute dart to second base. And so not only helping at the plate, but behind the plate as well.
That one, a fastball called strike. Low outside corner. Powell doesn't agree. Count 1-1 either way. Breaking ball high, and the count now 2-1. A lot of people commenting on how well John Clayton is throwing tonight.
And they're not wrong on that one.
Clayton has thrown 6 scoreless. He's now thrown 13 scoreless for the Stallions this year. Dan Rao commenting about how good Clayton, as well as Joe Levenites, as he says John Clayton MVP. Certainly tonight. Keeping Adirondack off the board, only allowing 3 hits and 1 walk in his 6 innings of work.
Man, I don't see anybody. The Dallas Hot Wiener sign is in the way, as usual, but I don't see anybody from here in the Stallions bullpen, so it looks like they're going to keep rolling with him, which I cannot blame them.
The payoff pitch is spoiled there and fouled over the backstop behind home by Powell, so we'll do the 3-2 again. We'll have to talk to Dave Morris on getting a bullpen camera.
Yeah, we need all sorts of cameras here. Our broadcast booth, not a great spot to see everything that goes on here at Cantine.
It's a fly ball into center field, but the center fielder cannot find it, and Powell's going to go all the way to second on what I can only imagine will be ruled a double, as it was never even close to him.
It has to be.
Joe Simone was never even close to the ball.
No, that landed a good 15 feet away from him.
He had his hands up in the air the whole time.
Right,
his infielders were pointing for him, but couldn't direct him to the ball.
Yeah, right off the bat, you saw the center fielder. He looked absolutely lost, which is really no fault of his own. I mean, me and Biko have played on Cantine numerous times, and for night games, it's definitely tough to see the ball once it gets into the air, into those lights. And but either way, it landed a good 15 feet away from him, and so that's going to be a double for Austin Powell.
So that's Jeff Palczewski now at the plate, the second baseman for the Stallions. He takes a breaking ball called strike. I'll tell you who that feels great for is Austin Powell, who thought he flew out to center on a lazy fly and ends up with a double. That feels really great as a hitter. 0-1, breaking ball low, but Palczewski checks the swing. Jeff's 0 for 2 on the night with a pop out to short and a fly out to center, or fly out to left, sorry.
They're relatively close to each other, you know.
Same ballpark.
Yeah, you are right. That's a pun from Beeks over there.
Thanks, buddy. 1-1. It's a hard ground ball in between short and third. The throw will actually go to third base, and it is in time to get Austin Powell. I believe the umpire has been pointing that the tag was on, but I never actually saw him call him out. But
Yeah, I mean, either way, the throw beat him. Looked like he was out. And phenomenal choice there from Brett Hubner, the Adirondack shortstop. As it looked like he was ready to throw it across the diamond to first base, and then he saw Powell on his way to third and threw a dart right over to third base in time for the tag. And as I said, great decision there. So that'll be a man on first base now for the Stallions, bringing up their leadoff hitter, Nick Campana.
Campana skies one to left field. It looks like Hooker is over there, and he can't find it. That one drops as well. Paul Chesky is going to have to stay at third as the throw comes all the way into home. So credit Nick Campana with a double.
Another double. Stallions not hitting the ball well at all this inning, but have 2 doubles to their stat line.
Yeah, really should have been a 1-2-3 inning. Really a line out to right, a fly out to center, and then the ground ball to short. But instead, we've got second and third with 2 outs for the shortstop, Luke Pedersen.
And Cashman up there looking extremely frustrated. As Bigo was saying, should have been out of it 1-2-3.
And that's also 2 doubles are against Cashman when it should have just been flyouts that he got.
Yeah. And now the Trailblazers have someone up in the bullpen. Because I noticed Cashman looked back and he noticed that, which made him, which he definitely looked frustrated about that as well. Because other than that first inning, he's been pitching extremely well.
Pedersen 0 for 2 on the day. He reached on an E6 back in the first and came around to score. Since then, he lined out to second and grounded out to second. He's got runners on second and third, and he hits a hard ground ball to short. It'll be fielded there by Hubner, who throws across the diamond in time to get Pedersen. So Cashman able to pitch around the 2 fly ball doubles.
When he puts it on the ground, he gets the outs.
Can't lose a ground ball in the lights, I don't think. And at the end of 6 full innings of play, Saugerties leads Adirondack 5-0 here from the Morris Computer Broadcast booth at Cantine Field. We're heading to the top of the 7th.
And just going to say it again, if you are a business owner or if you own a business.
Either or.
Yep, either one. Doesn't matter. And you would like to sponsor the Saugerties Stallions, please get in contact with us any way you can. Comment, DM, email, call.
Smoke signal.
Yeah, get up on your roof and just yell it out. And hopefully someone will hear you. Hopefully someone will hear it. But whatever you got to do, get in contact with us, and we will absolutely make it happen. It's a good win-win for everybody, as the Stallions, a whole bunch of fans come out and watch these games, and a lot of people watch our broadcast as well. And so it's good exposure for your business, as well as you'd be helping out a local beloved baseball team. And so all around good situation. So please, if you are a business owner, or if you own a business, let us know, and we will work on getting you sponsorship.
So John Clayton's night is over. He threw 6 scoreless innings and now has thrown 13 scoreless on the year. He's been fantastic. To throw the 7th inning, coming in with a 5-0 lead, will be Ian Schuer, the 6'2 lefty out of Lincroft, New Jersey. He comes from Manhattan College, one of the few Stallions who comes from Manhattan. Schuer on the year, still looking to get his grips here in the PGCBL. He's only thrown 4 1/3 innings, and he's given up 5 runs, which is good for a 10.38 ERA. His problem in his 4 1/3 thrown so far this year is 7 walks. He's only given up 5 hits, and he does have 4 strikeouts as well. So we'll see what Schuer can do here with a 5-run lead against Adirondack. And after, John Clayton really threw another gem for the Stallions.
Absolutely. And we'll see if his bullpen can back him up. Offense gave him a 5-run lead, so as long as Schuer doesn't double the amount of runs he's given up this season so far, then they should be pretty good.
Final line on John Clayton is 6 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts, only 1 walk and 3 hits. I mean, he's You could not ask for anything more from John Clayton this year. He's been phenomenal.
Absolutely not. And I'm actually like kind of surprised that they took him out, as he didn't look like he was slowing down. You know, his speed was still as fast as it was in the first inning, still controlling his pitches extremely well, and the Trailblazers hadn't gotten to him yet, only given up, as Biko said, 3 hits. And it says here that Clayton needs a little bit of rehab, and so they didn't want to overdo it, which absolutely makes sense.
It was Clayton's first start of the year.
Yeah, you don't want to risk an injury in your first start of the year, or even at all in a summer league.
That's right.
You know, college, as much as these guys are dedicated to the Stallions, the college baseball season is really what matters. This is just to really keep their wits about them over the off season and maybe get a little bit more exposure for their pro scouts. So looks like it was a very good decision to pull him. And the Stallions have one of the best pitching staffs in the entire PGCBL. So hopefully they can back him up and get him the win for tonight.
Yeah, he hands the bullpen a 5-0 lead, as Shure will face 6, 7, 8 here out of Adirondack. It'll be Zarowski, Kataspati, and Simone. Zarowski in the box now. He's the right fielder with a 1-0 count. So far tonight, 1 for 2, as he takes an off-speed high in the count now, 2-0. Zarowski with the big double back in the second inning, the first hit of the game for Adirondack, and then he flew out to center field. Kayla Nadal says, just get a drone that you can put up for all the fun stuff. Kayla, I would love a drone.
I would
be
love a drone, more than you would believe. But I mean, Biko said I'm the tech guy, and we got another tech guy. But I think I speak for both of us when I say that would probably be a little over our heads.
Oh my gosh! It's a line drive base hit to lead off the 7th here for Zarowski's. I don't even know if Kurt meant to make that.
And believe it or not, that pun was not intended.
I could tell.
But when he started laughing, I realized what I did. So I guess I'll just say that I'm too dumb to probably put a camera on a drone and hook it up to the broadcast.
I'm sure.
But
Dave Morris.
The over our heads thing was actually kind of funny now looking back at it.
There you go, Kurt. It's Matt Kataspati, the catcher, now up to plate with the leadoff man on for Adirondack. They're looking to rally here, down 5 runs here in the top of the 7th. They're running out of outs. He takes a ball outside. As I said earlier, when Zarowski was on first, or when Zarowski was on second, he has not attempted a stolen base so far this year. As the 1-0 is low and the count's 2-0, and down 5 runs is not the time to be trying to steal bases either. You just need base runners.
No, absolutely not, especially so late in the game as well. They only have 9 outs left, so you don't want to give any of them away for free. And so all the Trailblazers can really do right now is hold the Stallions and just got to start hitting the ball.
2-0 fastball called strikes. So the count now 2-1. Palczewski playing pretty far up the middle, but Pedersen playing over at short, as he's playing Kataspati to pull, as that one's low and away, so the count now 3-1.
Yeah, interesting decision there from Pedersen, because usually with a man on first, you see the middle infielder squeeze the middle a little bit, get into double play depth, but they must have a good enough scouting report on this guy to assume that he's probably going to pull the ball.
That one bounces in front of home, so it's a 5-pitch walk for Kataspati, and the first 2 men now are on for the Trailblazers here in the top of the 7th. It'll bring up the 8-hitter and center fielder Joe Simone. Joe 0 for 2 on the night with a strikeout swinging in the 3rd and then a strikeout looking in the 5th. He's very happy to see John Clayton sitting on the bench now.
Yeah, definitely wants to try and avoid that hat trick, one of the most dreaded things that can happen to a baseball player in a game. And if you don't know, then after the hat trick leads to the golden sombrero, which normally sounds like a good thing. Golden sombrero sounds pretty cool, but baseball definitely one of the things you want to try to avoid. 4 strikeouts in a single game. Simone is only halfway there, so it doesn't have to worry about that quite yet.
No need to be thinking about dreadful things like that for Simone. It's lefty on lefty against Schuer. He takes a fastball called strike. Good job there by Ian after the 5-pitch walk to get ahead of this guy. You've got runners on first and second, and no more room for walks as he's already walked 8 guys in his 4 1/3 so far for the Stallions. That one, fastball called strike outside corner. Simone can't believe it, but he's down 0-2.
And again, as we were saying before, Beeks, you don't want to try to steal in this situation, and because they're down by 5 runs so late in the game. And usually first and second, no outs, it would be a good situation to bunt as well, get them into scoring position. But with being down by so many so late in the game, that's also put the Trailblazers in a position not to be able to do that as well.
Yeah, that one just spoiled there by Simone. A chopper foul down the third baseline that McKenna fields in foul territory. And with the lefty up, if you've got a good bunter and good speed in Simone, your center fielder, the one thing I could say is, maybe try a drag.
Bunt for a hit.
Exactly. In worst case scenario, you get second and third and 1 out, but best case scenario, you've got the bases loaded and nobody out, as another 0-2 is fouled almost into the Stallions dugout. That one was really sliced, almost at a 90-degree angle away from Simone. So the count's still 0-2. Schuer going right after the Adirondack center fielder.
And I agree, Beeks. And Simone only batting .243 coming into this game. And so, not an assured base hit by any means when he steps up to the plate. So would not be the worst idea in the world. But with 2 strikes now, it's out of the question.
Yeah, that 0-2 just barely misses Lone Waste. The count now 1-2. The one thing that Simone has shown this year is his 5 RBIs is 3rd on the team. So with runners in scoring position, he has been able to get the job done so far for Adirondack. Here comes the 1-2 from Schuer. Breaking ball bounces. Great stop by Powell.
Yeah, and as I was saying before, Powell's been an absolute brick wall back there. Anything in the dirt or wild pitches around the zone, he has been able to get in front of.
Good to see Johnny Lizette go out there and grab that ball.
Yep. Along with Cole Teeter. Johnny Lizette is another hometown guy. So we got 2 Saugerties natives on the Stallions, which the fans absolutely love.
Yeah, along with 3 Kingston guys.
Yeah, so a lot of locals.
2-2 popped up in the infield. We'll see if the infield fly is called. Pedersen will make the catch in just behind the infield grass. The infield fly was invoked anyway, and there's 1 out here in the top of the 7th.
And so that's going to bring up the 9-hitter, shortstop Brett Hubner, who was 0 for 2 on the night. He has had a fly out to center and a fly out to right. So now he just has to put one out into left, and he'll get the whole outfield in order.
A little triple crown of sorts. Here's the first pitch from Schuer. Fastball called strike on the outside corner. So Schuer so far able to bear down after getting the 2 leadoff men on. John McKenna playing even with the bag at first, but everybody else in the infield back. Looking to turn 2. That breaking ball just misses outside, so count 1-1.
And a great turnout here tonight at Cantine Field for a Thursday. VIP section over there is packed, along with the stands above the VIP section.
That one flied into center field. Long run for Nick Campana, who stutters and makes the catch. He's able to battle the lights and not give up a double.
Yeah, the outfield having a lot of trouble with those fly balls here tonight. Fortunately, Campana able to caress that one.
So 2 big outs now for Schuer, and he's just got 1 more to go. It does flip the order over for the leadoff man and third baseman, Tyler Bruno. Bruno 0 for 3 on the night. Still looking for his first hit. Another guy who's happy to see Clayton leave. He's grounded out to second, reached on an E5 and flied out to right as he takes a fastball low and away.
And also got caught stealing after he reached base by Austin Powell.
Yeah, Bruno second in the PGCBL with 8 steals. He was 8 for 9 coming into the game, but His attempt for his 9th steal was foiled by AP behind home. He hits a ground ball up the middle. It'll be fielded by Pedersen, who flips to Polcheski at second to get out of the jam. So Schuer puts the first 2 on and then immediately gets 3 outs in a row. And at the end of 6.5, it's 5-0 Saugerties from the Morse Computer broadcast booth as Kate Smith will now sing God Bless America.
So after that great rendition of God Bless America by Kate Smith, we're going to have owner Kevin Hinchy. Actually, excuse me, before that happens, as you may have heard earlier, we were talking about Frankie Peters, beloved Saugerties baseball fan who has recently passed away. And so our PA announcer, Rob Vanderbeck, is out on the field saying a few words about that right now.
Services expenses have now been covered.
So now all of Frankie's services and expenses have been covered, as Rob Vanderbeck has said, if you couldn't hear him over the loudspeaker. That funeral will be this Sunday evening, or the wake, I'm sorry, will be from 7 to 9 at Seaman Wilsey Funeral Home here in Saugerties, New York.
Yeah, if you're around, I highly encourage you to go. I know if I can make it, I'd like to go myself, because this guy loved baseball, and he was out there to support Biko and myself when we played for various different Saugerties baseball teams. And so I know both me and Biko will probably be there to support him.
Yeah, nothing but Beatles playing tonight here at Cantine Field.
Yeah.
Boy, did Frankie love him.
I've never seen anybody talk about the Beatles and listen to the Beatles more than he did.
He always got to our Legion games and practices before us so he could play his Beatles throughout it.
Yeah, I actually had a couple problems with him when one of our guys made a playlist before our game, a little pregame playlist, and Frankie was up here.
Frankie didn't appreciate our playlist.
Playing the Beatles like he does, and yeah, it's safe to say he did not appreciate that. Also, heard a rumor, don't know if this one's true, but heard that he sold his house to go to a Beatles concert in London.
I heard that too, but
I don't know the truth to that. But that's
the kind of guy Frankie was.
To give you some perspective, that's how much this guy loved the Beatles. A lot of people will miss him dearly, and so it's great to see the Stallions dedicating this game to him.
I don't think there'll be any fan as dedicated as he was. It'll be 3-4-5 here in the bottom of the 7th for the Stallions. Feinstein, Gonzalez, and then Kelder, as the right fielder Matt Feinstein takes a fastball low. He's 2 for 2 on the night, 2 runs scored, a double, a single, and a stolen base. So Feinstein having a fine night, as he hits a deep fly ball down the right field line. Long run for Zorowski, who will make the catch coming over the line for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, good job by the Trailblazers right fielder getting over there. It was real high in the air, but actually pretty much directly on the right field line. And so a tough play. Good job there by him to go get that one, especially in this tough sky here in Saugerties.
That'll bring up the cleanup hitter and first baseman for the Stallions, Jack Gonzalez. Jack having another stellar night, just like Feinstein. He's 2 for 3. That big triple back in the 3rd that he came around to score on, and as well as a single in the 1st. He's got 2 runs scored and an RBI to go along with his 2 for 3 night. He takes a fastball high.
And Georgia Teeter here confirming. He said he did go to London. And so that is really impressive from him, just to see the Beatles.
Still don't know if he sold his house to get there, but he went.
Regardless, he did see the Beatles in London. And now he must have had the time of his life at that.
I can only imagine. As Gonzalez takes a huge hack through a fastball here. Here comes the 1-1 to Jack. Big swing and a miss again, and the count now 1-2.
And they snuck him in here without me or Biko even noticing, but the Trailblazers do have a new pitcher on the mound, taking out Kyle Cashman, their starter. And as soon as we can get a number for this guy, we'll get you his name.
The 1-2. Bouncer in the dirt, and the count now 2-2.
He won't turn his back to us.
He really won't. I thought he was gonna on that one.
Oh, it's been very close. And I just barely managed to see the number. It is number 27, Joe Hamrick.
That one popped foul, but out of play down the third base line. So nice spoil there by Gonzalez.
And Joe Hamrick of the Trailblazers, a 6'1", 190-pound righty out of Rochester, Michigan, I believe that is. And he plays for Hillsdale College. And he was a redshirt freshman this past year, so we'll continue with his freshman eligibility in this upcoming season.
2-2. Another foul ball, so Gonzalez stays alive again.
Yeah, great at bat here by Gonzalez. Bearing down, fouling some balls off so he can seize a pitch that he likes.
Hamrick has only thrown 4 1/3 innings so far this summer for the PGCBL. As another 2-2 and another foul ball, that one yanked down the right field line out of play. Hamrick's given up 3 runs in those 4 1/3, but only 2 of those earned, which is a 4.15 ERA. His issue so far is 6 walks. He's only given up 3 hits. Does have 5 strikeouts, though.
Yeah, and those unearned runs, as I was saying before, have been a big problem for the Trailblazers. Given up, I believe, 81 runs as a team, but only 63 of them have been earned. So a lot of unearned runs.
The fourth 2-2 is bombed into right center field, but it will be caught at the right center field track by Joe Simone, the center fielder. That one was tattooed by Gonzalez.
Off the bat, I thought that was a lot farther than it actually was. Still hit pretty hard and forward by Gonzalez, but pretty much right at the center fielder. So that's going to bring up the 5-hitter, Tyler Kelder, out of Kingston, New York. He's had himself a pretty solid night as well. 1 for 1 so far with an RBI double. Also been hit by a pitch and another RBI and a sac fly.
Yeah, Kelder, the batting average leader for the Stallions, for everybody who has more than 4 at-bats. He takes a breaking ball inside, count 1-0. Kelder red hot since coming from Kingston High School. He's going to be attending St. Bonaventure in the fall, joining one of his former Kingston teammates and a former Saugerties Stallion, a 2-year guy in Micah Riddick. As the 1-0 is a fastball called strike.
And also earlier on, I saw a comment from Jeff Palczewski's dad saying that he will also be joining him there this upcoming year, as he played at University of Buffalo in his to begin his career, but since they are disbanding the baseball team, he'll move over to St. Bonaventure.
That backdoor, another called strike, so 1-2 count on Kelder. So Kelder getting some action with one of his future teammates before the year even started. Andrew Taft, another Buffalo man, still looking for a team to play for in the fall.
Yeah, me and Biko have been trying to recruit him to come play club baseball with us at Syracuse. But he's said he's going to try to see what other offers he has before he makes any rash decisions.
We'd love to have him at first base. Our first baseman who transferred from Union College actually graduated.
Yep.
So We need another.
We're looking for a solid first baseman.
We need another star.
I think it's safe to say he would get a lot of playing time.
Oh, Andrew Taft, you could play all 7 innings of every game. We play 7-inning doubleheaders and 9-inning single games, just like the Stallions. Is Tyler Kelder really battling up there with another 2-2 count? Although I tell you what, Kurt, it seemed like he liked Sam Russo's pull over to come to Butler and play D1 better than ours. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll talk him into it. I have faith in our debating skills.
2-2, big swing miss from Kelder, who was battling. So a nice 1-2-3 inning to start off the night for Hemerick. And at the end of 7 full innings of play, the Stallions lead the Trailblazers 5-0. We're heading to the top of the 8th from the Morris Computer Broadcast booth here at Cantine Field.
Which makes sense because we're going to play the sponge game. It's all about water and how much you.
It's the sponge game now.
We got the sponge game for the side field shenanigans.
Like we've said, there's always all kinds of games here, and Stallions are a fun team to watch, a fun game to go to. There's all kinds of games on the sideline.
Absolutely. It's not just the baseball that you get when you come to Cantine.
Tell you what, one of my favorite things to watch is Jack Gonzalez race out the second baseman. The Stallions' first baseman, whether it's Tyler Kelder or Jeff Palczewski or Pat LaGravenese, he's always racing them out there. And, you know, it's stuff like that it's the small things you get to see here.
It just makes these games more enjoyable.
And it's another thing you get to see firsthand if you do one of the Stallions baseball or softball camps over the summer.
Yeah.
Because you get to be taught by the Saugerties Stallions and their coaching staff, as well as if you're in the softball camp, you get the SUNY New Paltz team as well as their coaching staff.
Yeah.
It's just $200 for a week, and you get over 15 hours of pure practice and learning with the best of the best here.
Yeah, you can see the high level of baseball, and also SUNY New Paltz playing a high level of softball. You can see the level that they play, and so to get so much face-to-face time with these players would be extremely helpful to anybody who attended. And so we highly encourage you to go to the Stallions page and check that out. As Pico said, only $200 for a wealth of knowledge from these kids.
You can visit SaugertiesStallions.com for more info.
Yeah.
Just hit up the fan zone and then take a look at the summer camps.
And space, we've been told that space is extremely limited. And so if you are interested, you might want to check that out as soon as possible because spots are filling up really quickly. So check that out. We're gonna get back to baseball activities.
Yeah, it's another lefty in there for the Stallions. Kevin Napoleon will replace Ian Schuer on the mound. Ian Schuer had a nice scoreless inning in relief of John Clayton. So Napoleon, with his dad Bob Napoleon in the stands, will get to throw in front of his dad in person.
Yep, he's Bob Napoleon, one of our faithful broadcast watchers, but fortunately gets to see his son pitch in real life this time. The broadcasts are great, but don't really do it justice.
Kevin has 2-3-4 meat of the order for Adirondack. It'll be Danny Abate, the second baseman, who's 0 for 3 on the night. Another man happy to see Clayton out of the game as he hits a soft number down the third base line, just foul, and it's a quick 0-2 count against Napoleon. Abate, like I said, 0 for 3, a ground out to short, as well as 2 strikeout swingings. Kevin from Arlington Heights, Illinois, another Butler teammate of Sam Russo. The 0-2. Fastball, swing and a miss. There's the hat trick for Danny Abate. Kevin Napoleon comes in and gets a 3-pitch strikeout. That'll bring up the DH, Lou Matarazzo. Lou is 1 for 3 on the night. He struck out looking, singled, and then struck out swinging. Napoleon has been fantastic so far on the air for the Stallions. He's been just about as dominant as you can be. He's thrown 11 2/3 and only given up 2 runs. That's a 1.54 ERA. He's also only walked 1 batter in 11 2/3, as well as struck out 11.
That's a phenomenal strikeout to walk ratio. Right there.
That's a phenomenal ratio, Kurt. 11 to 1. And he is 1-0 on the year as well, as he's got a 1-1 count now on Matarazzo.
And Matarazzo coming into this game, again, another Trailblazer looking to break out, only batting 200 right now. So right on the Mendoza line.
That fastball just misses low and away, count 2-1. 2-1 popped up in foul territory, but might be room for John McKenna, who is on the run and just misses it off his glove right in front of the Stallions dugout. He kind of barely overran it. Tough play, though, for the Stallions third baseman.
Yeah, he was running full speed at that one and just, as Biko said, overran it just enough to where he had to reach back and bounce right off the glove. So would have been a great play. Definitely not one that you would have to expect. But Napoleon's going to have to get back in there and face Luma Matarazzo again.
Matarazzo foul tips that one just barely off the glove of Powell, who slaps his mitt into the dirt in disappointment. It's another very tough play. You really can't guarantee those foul tips.
No.
So Matarazzo just barely able to stay alive.
And Matarazzo with 11 strikeouts and only 25 at bats. So an extremely high strikeout rate from him.
Make it 12.
And there's another one, 12 and 26. And just a great pitching there from Bob Napoleon. As didn't even need the play from John McKenna on that one. Just decided to do it himself.
Little assist from John McKenna on the strikeout there, as he just gave him the second strike instead. That'll bring up the first baseman, John Boswell. He's 1 for 3 on the night and takes a fastball just off the plate. He's flown out to right, singled, and reached on an E5. That one was an absolute tattooed ball that McKenna was able to knock down at third, but then his throw was wide, and Gonzalez was not able to get it. It was wide and on the ground. It would have been a diving pick. Here's the 1-1 to Boswell. Breaking ball, called strike outside corner, and the count 1-2. Here's the 1-2. It's flied into right field. Matt Feinstein will take a few steps over and make the catch. So a beautiful inning thrown by Kevin Napoleon. 2 Ks and a fly out. And he continues to impress here for the Stallions. After 7.5 innings, Saugerties leads 5-0 from the Morris Computer broadcast booth here at Cantines Field. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th inning.
And Biko, it's almost that time where we give away our promotion. Well, what do you say we give these people one last shot to win our beautiful stuff before we decide to choose a winner?
I'll let you hold the foam finger. I'll put the hat on.
Yeah, sharing is caring. I'd like to see that.
As Rob Vanderbeck gives us a shout out at the stadium. So.
Yeah, it probably looks really weird to you viewers at home, but there's a whole lot of people looking at us, so we can't disappoint the fans here at Cantine.
Can't disappoint.
As our PA announcer gave us a little shout out, but we're gonna tell you about the promotions we've been doing. Every broadcast we choose something to give away, and all that it takes for you guys to win this is to comment on this post, and we picked a predetermined number comment to win this stuff before the game. And if you wear that number comment, then we're going to ship it up and send it right to you. Some beautiful Stallions merchandise. We got this foam finger. You can sit at home with a foam finger and put on your Stallions hat and cheer on the Stallions as you're watching me and Biko's broadcast. Or you can come right to the game and probably be the most decked out fan here. You'd be a very popular person.
I agree.
And so please just comment on our post, and we're going to, I think, either in the middle of the 9th inning or possibly the top of the 9th, we're going to give it away. And so comment quickly, as you only got this half inning to get in the running. And also while you're at it, please like and share our broadcast. Trying to get as much exposure as we can. So they're all right there. The like, comment, and share buttons all right in a line. So you might as well just hit all of them while you're at it.
Touch them all.
Just touch them all. And me and Biko would really appreciate that. So comment quick, and we're going to choose a winner pretty soon.
It'll be 6, 7, 8 here in the bottom of the 8th for the Stallions. Connor Powers, the left fielder, steps in and takes a fastball called strike from Hamerick. Hamerick in his second inning of relief, he threw a scoreless one back in the bottom of the 7th. A 1-2-3 on top of that. 0-1 to Powers, popped right over the broadcast booth, and the count now quickly 0-2. Powers on the night 0 for 2. He did pick up an RBI walk back in the first inning as he forced in the second run of the night for the Stallions, scoring Matt Feinstein. As the 0-2 to him, swing and a miss on a bouncer on the plate, but it goes all the way back and on top of the stand behind home plate. So it's actually a strikeout, and he's going to reach first base on it because there's no chance for Codispati to throw over to first. So Powers is on first with the strikeout. The leadoff man on for the Stallions, and the third baseman John McKenna will take his hacks. He's 0 for 3 on the night with 2 strikeouts and a line out to right field. You really don't see that every day. It's rare that you see a strikeout and reach first base anyway, but that one actually bounced off of home plate and went on top of the grandstand. So Kurt will step back into the booth.
Yeah, what happened, Beeks?
You missed a strikeout on Connor Powers where the ball bounced on home plate and went over the grandstand behind home.
And he swung at it?
And he did swing at it.
That's unfortunate.
That was another line drive to right. And that one's going to fall in for a base hit, and it's actually going to get past Zarowski. So McKenna's going to second. He's going to have to hold up there and run back to the bag as Powers had to wait for that to drop. McKenna was thinking about 3. That one will be a single and an E9. So McKenna with his first hit of the night, and after the strikeout and the single with an error, Stallions have second and third and nobody out here for Austin Powell, their catcher.
And that's something Rob Zarowski's definitely got to work on is judging those liners, because that's the second time he's done that tonight. There's been a couple ones that he might have had a slight chance at catching, but he's dove for him and let the ball get by him. And as I said, that's the second time on the night. So sometimes it's better just kind of cut your losses, stay in front of the ball, and don't give up any extra bases. But now it's second and third, no outs for the Stallions, so they're going to likely add to their lead if Austin Powell can just put the ball in play somewhere right now.
Yeah, Austin with a big swing and miss there. And Adirondack, actually, their entire infield is playing back. Even though they're down by 5, they're going to trade an out for a run. So a ground ball anywhere in the infield should score Powers, as well as a fly ball, moderate depth in the outfield, as the 0-1 is a fastball low and away. Good snag back there by Codispati. Powell 1 for 2 on the day, I'm sorry. He had that double on what looked like it was going to be a pop out to center field. And he also struck out. He also walked and drove in a run with that walk back in the first. He fouls that one into the Adirondack dugout. Kind of scary there. Yeah. These guys had to scatter. Count now 1-2 on the Stallions catcher.
And Powell's going to step back into the box.
Just looking to put bat on ball here.
Yeah, definitely don't want to see a strikeout here from Powell.
Here's the 1-2.
For the Stallions.
Fastball, he's able to get a piece of it, fouls it straight back into the netting.
Yeah, and a good quick swing, just kind of stuck his hands out. Did what you said, put bat on ball. Didn't go in the right direction, but at least he still has another shot of hitting the ball in fair play.
Hamerick, a hard-throwing righty in his second inning of work. Here's another 1-2 to Powell. Breaking ball just misses high, and count now 2-2. Good frame behind there by Codispati.
Yeah, good eye there from Powell though. That's a tough pitch to take. As that one started high and ended up right about at his letters. Looked like it might have been a little inside. And would have been a very tough pitch to hit, but good eye from Powell laying off of it.
2-2 ripped down the left field line. Foul by inches.
Yeah, as Bigo said, that must have missed by about an inch. I thought from my angle it looked fair. Obviously, we don't have the best one from third base up here. But Austin Powell missed probably a 2 RBI double by, I'd say, a good maybe half an inch.
Yeah, looking at the replay, it was a great hack by Powell. He was all over that fastball at the letters, and he did just miss it by inches there, so he'll look at another 2-2. Powell went from just throwing the bat out there to spoil the 2-strike pitch to teeing off on that one.
Powers found a pitch that he liked.
Powers leads off third, McKenna off second, another 2-2. Fastball bounced to third, Powers doesn't go. The throw over to first in time.
And me and Biko were saying all you had to do was put bat on ball, and unfortunately that's really the one spot you hit it, and that won't bring the run in. Just it was a good shot from Powell, putting it down the third base line, but a good job from the third baseman Tyler Bruno, looking back the runner and making the play.
So that's the first out here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Stallions trying to add to their 5-0 lead as the 9-hitter Jeff Pelcheski, their second baseman, steps in. He's 0 for 3 on the day. He did reach on a fielder's choice his last at-bat. As he lines one into center field, it'll be straight at Joe Simone in center, who will catch it. The throw will go all the way home, but not in time to get Connor Powers. So it's a sac fly for Pelcheski, and the Stallions take a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, he hit that one probably the minimum distance he could to get that sac fly in.
It was hit hard though.
The ball arrived right as Powers was crossing the plate, but just a little bit too late. And so the Stallions go up 6-0.
They'll flip the order over for the leadoff man and center fielder Nick Campana.
And John McKenna just is on third base now. It looks like, I thought the time was out, but he ran to third, and we're going to see what the umpires decide to do about that as the Trailblazers coach comes out trying to argue it. As long as all the players, they think the time was out, so McKenna can't take third, which that's kind of what I thought too.
We'll see what the umpires say. They say time was not called.
We'll see what they say. Yeah, they say it was fair game, so heads-up play there.
That's actually a stolen base.
Extremely heads-up play there by John McKenna. Just kind of trotting over to third base. Nobody really noticed him until he got there. And so now the Stallions have a runner on third with 2 outs for Nick Campana.
Just 90 feet away.
What a heads-up play there by him.
Campana 1 for 4 on the day, takes a fastball way up. That was one of the sneakiest stolen bases I've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's right up there with Johnny Damon's stolen base of third in the 2009 World Series when he stole second and then noticed no one was there and just outran Chase Utley. As that's a fastball low, so it's a 2-0 count on Campana.
Yeah, real heads up there from.
That was very impressive from John McKenna.
McKenna, he was standing over there on third, like what? I just stole third on you guys, and that's what he did.
2-0 popped into foul territory by first. John Boswell over there under it, and he will catch it while backpedaling. So Campana pops up in foul territory, but the Stallions put one more insurance run on the board on the sac fly from Pelcheski. And at the end of 8 full innings of play, Saugerties leads Adirondack 6-0 going into the top of the 9th inning. And as we head into the 9th, we will find out what comment was the correct numbered comment that wins our hat and our foam finger. As there was over $2,300 raised tonight here at Cantine Field. The field will, or the money, half the money tonight will go to the Saugerties music program here in Frankie's name, and the other half will go to the SPCA here in Saugerties in Frankie's name, as Frankie loved animals, he loved tigers, he loved cats.
And hey Beeks, why don't you bring out our prizes, because we have a winner of our promotion tonight. Had one of our interns count the comments, and we have decided on one.
Doug's always on it.
The predetermined number. Yeah, we had Doug, and the winner tonight is going to be Lisa Shawn Tierney. Or excuse me, not Lisa Tierney is her name, with her comment "Go Stallions."
All right.
So right to the point, just saying "Go Stallions," and that "Go Stallions" comment has received you something that you can cheer them on even better now with the hat and the foam finger. Say Stallions are #1. So Lisa Tierney, you're gonna be going. Actually, you already are home. You're not gonna be going home with this stuff, but it's gonna be sent right to your home. And so congratulations on the win. Hopefully you'll look a little better in this stuff than Biko does.
I don't know what the heck you're talking about. I think I look fantastic. Although as I look at our TV up here in the booth, I guess it was a little crooked on my head, but
that's all right.
Happens to the best.
Either way, Lisa Tierney, I don't know if you're still watching, but regardless, we're gonna DM you and get your information, see how we can get this foam finger and this hat to you.
Congrats, Lisa.
And you can. Watching the broadcast and commenting has earned you a little Stallions merchandise tonight. So congratulations to you, and thank you to everybody else who commented, liked, and shared this post. Because,
big thank you.
You know, you didn't get the prizes, but we still really appreciate all of your support. And that's the reason we do it. You know, we come out here and we want to put on a good broadcast for our fans, and it's nice to see that we get the support in return.
Definitely. Big thank you to everybody who watches, likes, and shares. As Kurt said, as we'll head into the top of the 9th inning now, Kevin Napoleon will be replaced by another lefty. 3 lefties in a row for the Stallions. This one, Jeff Hayner, out of good old Kingston High School right down the road. And it's a rip into right field. Diving play and caught by Matt Feinstein. But no, it is not caught. The umpire rules that he picked the ball off the grass, and Feinstein can't believe it.
Yeah, and
that would have been a tremendous catch.
I thought for sure he made the catch, and just barely missed a phenomenal play.
So that was Chuck Hooker, the 5-hitter and left fielder, with the line drive hit. That was his first of the night. He was 0 for 3 before. It's 5-6-7 here in the top of the 9th as Adirondack tries to mount a 6-run rally. It'll be the right fielder Rob Zarowski now. He's actually 2 for 3 on the night, the only Trailblazer with 2 hits. And he takes a fastball strike from Hayner. Hayner, the 6'2 lefty out of Kingston, New York, who will be attending Niagara University in the fall. Along with Tyler Kelder and Avery Short, one of the trio from the Kingston High School baseball team. As all 3 have been playing great so far this year. That one a breaking ball low, count 1-1. Hayner's only thrown 2 2/3 innings so far. But he's showing great stuff as he gets ahead 1-2. In his 2 2/3, he did give up 2 earned runs and walked 3 with a strikeout. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses outside. Count 2-2. He's got a real herky-jerky motion. It looks like it's tough to pick him up.
Yeah, I was just about to say, it's one of the funkier motions I've ever seen. Definitely conceals the ball until real late, basically until he releases it. So that's real tough for the batters to pick up on. And also has a little bit of zip to his fastball, which isn't easy to hit as well.
Yeah, a big difference between his fastball speed and breaking ball, as Zarowski just able to get a piece of that breaking ball and foul it straight back. It's a 2-2 count on the Adirondack right fielder as Hooker leads off first with the line drive single to lead off the inning. The 2-2. Another breaking ball. That one chopped to third. McKenna will throw on to second, but the throw is wide, and Palczewski is not able to come up with it. So that'll be an E5. Tough night for John McKenna over at third, who picks up his 3rd error of the night. Actually, the only 3 errors the Stallions have made.
Yeah, not one of his better days. But everybody has those nights. Sometimes you're just not really feeling it in the field, and a lot of tough balls have been hit to him. So he just didn't really work out for him tonight. But it's a long season, and Palczewski looked like he almost had that one. Was really used every inch of his body to try and stay on the bag there and catch it, and just popped out of his glove. So
yeah,
couldn't help out McKenna on that one.
It was a good attempt by the Stallions second baseman. So first and second here and nobody out for Matt Kotaspoki.
And it looks like Hayner's actually a little upset in there after this one. Going out and grabbing the ball back from Powell on that throwback. And that's an obvious sign that he's showing a little frustration.
That one fouled back over the grandstands. The count now 1-1. For the second straight inning, Adirondack has for the second inning out of the last 3, the Trailblazers have first and second and no out. Ian Schuer came in the 7th, was in this exact situation and got 3 straight.
Yep. And usually a very good situation to be in. But being down by 6 runs, you can't bunt him over for the next guys in the lineup, so they're just going to have to try and hit him in.
Yeah, Adirondack once caught a spotty on. They already have Hooker and Zarowski on. The 2-1 fastball just missed that one, lined straight back into the netting, count 2-2. Georgia Teeter trying to buy the buy the combo of the hat and the foam finger off of Lisa.
Not a bad idea. We'll probably save a little bit of money instead of just going out and buying them at Cantine.
That one lined into left field. That's a base hit. Connor Powers, it'll actually get past Powers, so 1 run will score. He bobbled it, and now he'll throw it in. It's going to be a single and an E7. So Adirondack has their first run of the game here in the top of the 9th inning. It's now 6-1 in second and third with still nobody out.
Yeah, and Hayner's not really getting hit that hard. You know, they're definitely putting the ball in play, but just not getting a whole lot of defensive help right now. As he should have definitely 1 out, possibly 2, and that one potentially Powers could have had a play at home, but just rushed it a little bit and just bobbled off of his glove.
Yeah, tough play. Powers coming over there, and it was a backhand for him, and went off his glove and past him. That one was ripped.
Absolutely.
But should have been stopped out there and left.
Yes, absolutely. And that's going to prompt a little mountain visit from the Stallions pitching coach, Stephen Freer. Be very weird if they're hitting coach out there.
So it'll be second and third with nobody out for the 8-hitter and center fielder Joe Simone. Simone 0 for 3 on the night, 2 strikeouts and a pop out to short. Stallions infield back looking to trade it out for a run. That's a breaking ball, big swing and miss from Simone. They're only 3 outs away from victory and still 5 runs away from having the game tied, so.
Yeah, so
the ratio makes sense.
Yeah, by no means feeling real threatened yet, but definitely Stallions gotta amp up their defense a little bit if they want to get out of this one.
1-0 just misses below the knees for Hayner, so the count now 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Fastball, another one just misses low, so the count now 2-1. Stallions with a 6-run lead and no outs here in the top of the 9th inning. The 2-1 fouled straight back into the netting. Count now 2-2.
I'm actually surprised the Stallions fans not as energetic as you usually see them when the Stallions are up in the 9th inning. Usually, especially in a game like this, up by 5, and the other team threatening, you see definitely the VIP section and most of the other fans up on their feet, clapping on their pitcher, trying to get him to end the game, and everyone staying pretty relaxed right now. Maybe we'll see a little bit more energy with 2 outs.
2-2 from Hayner, bounced to second, but it's beat out by Simone, who absolutely legged that out, and Polcheski kind of took his time, and he was actually safe by at least a step over there. Simone booking it out of the box, so it's an infield single for him. And like you said, Kurt, Hayner throwing the outs, but just not getting the help from the defense right now.
No, and I was actually very surprised to see that be a base hit. It looked like Polcheski, he was being very casual about it, but I thought he had all the time in the world. And it was just a slow enough bouncer that Simone able to leg out a single
So it's 1st and 3rd now, a 6-2 game as Zarowski did score on that infield grounder. It's now the 9-hitter and shortstop Brett Huber who takes a ball from Hayner. Stallions looking to turn 2. That would be a big momentum swing for Saugerties.
Absolutely. Definitely going to give up that runner on third for a double play right now. And you got to admire Simone's hustle out of the box. Trailblazers not going down without a fight right now. Down by 6 runs. They're by no means thinking that they have lost this game yet. And the Stallions are doing, so far, they're doing a whole lot to possibly give it to them.
Here comes the 1-0. Fastball called strike outside corner on Huber, and the count now 1-1. Pretty good pickoff attempt over there by Hayner at first.
Nice.
Actually caught Simone off guard. He definitely isn't stealing here, but still had to scuttle back as he fake steal and runs back to the bag. That one fouled back into the grandstand and sneaks down into the VIP, so it's a 1-2 count now on Huber.
Yeah, it looks like Simone was really pretty energized by his infield single, and so he was getting a pretty hefty lead over there, and Hayner made sure that he wouldn't be doing that anymore. Actually, he's still got a pretty big lead, and really no need for it at this point. You just got to hit the ball.
Hayner comes home, but it's a high fastball, so the count now 2-2. Yeah, it's really all up to the bats at this point in the game. Can't be running into outs if you're the Trailblazers.
No, and I mean if there's still no outs and they get within 1 or 2 runs, that's a completely different story. But right now, still down by 4. All they can do is just try to hit the ball.
2-2 lone in from Hayner. Good stop behind the plate by Powell. So it's going to be a full count on the Adirondack shortstop. Still looking for his first hit of the night. He's flown out 3 times to the outfield. Had a chance for the outfield triple crown, but he's hit it to center twice instead of hitting it to Powers over and left.
Yep, still has an opportunity to do it this at bat.
Here's the payoff pitch. It's a fly ball into deep left center field.
Boy.
That's going to get down for extra bases. That one's actually a bomb all the way to the wall. It looks like Simone's going to round third. He's coming home. The throw goes over all the cutoff man, so it'll be a triple. 2 RBI triple for Joe Simone. All of a sudden, we've got a ball game. It's 6-4, and Simone's on third with nobody out.
Yeah, and that turned pretty ugly pretty quickly for the Stallions. Coming into the top of the 9th with a 6-run lead, you think it's really a no-brainer. They're probably going to get out of it. And now here we are, the Trailblazers threatening after scoring 4 runs, and now there's still a man on third and no outs.
All right, fans, we put the chain coming up.
And that's going to be the end of the night for Jeff Hayner, who isn't even going to walk into the dugout. He's just going to walk back to the bullpen.
And it's not enough that the Trailblazers are down by 2 with a man on third, but that's actually going to bring up the top of their order too.
Yeah, the top of the order and the tying run to home plate.
So yeah, if you were going to end this game, those were the batters to do it on. But now that's going to send the Trailblazers back to the top of their lineup. And Coach Tommy Whitaker had about enough of that. Not completely Jeff Hayner's fault. He was getting hit pretty hard, but also not being helped out by his defense. But regardless, the situation is not good for the Stallions, so Tommy Whitaker decided to bring in a new pitcher.
Yeah, the only good thing for the Stallions is the new pitcher is Matt Pichard, the big 6'4" righty out of Brewer, Maine, coming from the University of Maine. Pichard's been great this year for the Stallions so far. He's thrown 6 1/3 and only given up 2 runs. He's walked 3 and struck out 6. He's also 1-0 on the year, and he's picked up a save as well. So Whitaker going to his trusty big righty out of Maine.
Yeah, he's been doing it all, really.
He has been doing it all at the plate and on the mound. Pichard, as we've mentioned a couple times tonight, is technically leading the Stallions with a .500 batting average. He's 2 for 4.
And as you were saying, big righty, 6'4", 230 pounds, and he's coming out of his freshman year at Maine. So that is one of the largest dudes I've seen.
One of the friendliest guys on the team too.
Absolutely.
Earlier during the year when there was a Saugerties Legion game going on before the Stallions game, he came up and pretended like he was calling that game with us. He's a great guy.
And he's got some serious zip behind his fastball, too. So he's going to come in and doesn't really have to worry about that runner on third. Just wants to get 3 outs right now. Has to basically think of it as a clean slate, you know, coming in with a one-run lead. And because with no outs, that guy on third is probably likely to score at some point.
Yeah, you kind of forget about Huber on third. You've got to go after Bruno in the top of the order for Adirondack, is you just need 3 outs, and you got to prevent one of those guys from coming around to score.
Yeah, as I said, got to come in with the mindset. You got a 1-run lead, and you got 3 outs to get. And so a big spot here for Matt Bouchard, and he's going to do the best he can to try and hold on to this Stallions lead.
So it's 1-2-3, Tyler Bruno, the third baseman and leadoff man for Adirondack, coming to plate with Huber on third and nobody out. Adirondack has already scored 4 runs here in the top of the 9th. They still trail 6-4, though, as Bouchard starts them out with a breaking ball for a called strike.
And now the Stallions fans are getting into it a little bit. That's what I was talking about before. Probably could have used that a little bit before it turned into a 2-run ball game. But regardless, they're a little bit more energized now, and that's a beautiful pitch from Bouchard.
Yeah, 0-1 was a real hack, and Bruno came up with nothing on a big bender from Bouchard, who also has the power to gas him up, but he started him off with 2 breaking balls instead.
Yeah, probably not exactly what Bruno was expecting from the big righty. And we'll see what he does now. He comes at him with a fastball.
Called strike 3. He went right at him, painted it on the outside corner. So Bouchard comes in and takes care of business. He's got 1 out here.
Beautiful pitching coming in there from Bouchard. As we were saying, started him off with 2 nasty curveballs. Bruno didn't really have a shot at it. And then with 2 strikes, fired a fastball, which had to have looked like it was going 105 miles an hour after those big benders. And Bruno really had no shot. So great pitching there from Bouchard for the first out of the inning.
It'll be the second baseman, Danny Abate, to take his hacks against Bouchard. He takes a fastball called strike. The big righty really igniting these fans. That one was a heater at the knees. Tough night for Bruno, too. He's now 0 for 5, although that was his first strikeout. Danny Abate is 0 for 4, and he's looking to avoid the golden sombrero that
oh no, the coveted golden sombrero
that Curtis and I have been talking about. Something that happens only in Legends. Well, it also happens in the majors once in a while.
Every now and then, but you don't see it too often. But Bouchard looks locked in up there, so I'd be a little nervous if I was Abate right now.
That one, fastball fouled off, and he's 1 strike away from it.
And as I was saying, Bouchard up there looks like he's absolutely locked in, thriving off of this pressure situation right now. Absolutely hammering the zone with strikes, curveballs, and fastballs. And Abate 1 pitch away from earning that golden sombrero.
Here's the 1-2 from Bouchard. Fastball fouled off. He went right at him. Another fastball at the knees. Count remains 1-2.
Yeah, Bouchard not messing around with any waste pitches. He wants to get in and get out of this inning. Thinks it's gone on about long enough.
Yeah, Bouchard doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. His strike-to-walk ratio over 2-1. Strikeout-to-walk ratio, sorry. So it'll be a 2-1 count again on Abate, who's trying to avoid the golden sombrero. Already has a hat trick. Here's the 1-2. Fastball, swing and a miss! Bouchard has 2 strikeouts and 2 at-bats. And Danny Abate now has the coveted golden sombrero.
He'll be walking home with sombrero of gold. And the Saugerties fans are extremely happy about that one. And Bouchard coming in a absolutely huge spot. And I was saying that guy on third was likely to score at some point, and Bouchard coming in getting 2 straight strikeouts, and he's still stranded over there.
Yeah, the third guy to take his hacks against Bouchard also has a chance at a golden sombrero.
Oh, no.
It's Lou Matarazzo. He's 1 for 4 on the night, but the 3 times he didn't reach base, he struck out. He struck out twice against Clayton and once against Napoleon. 1 looking and 2 swinging.
So Bouchard looking to hand out sombreros here tonight.
Handing out sombreros willy-nilly.
Handing out golden sombreros left and right. And count goes to 1-0, so he's still got a full at bat before he gives another sombrero out. So don't want to say that too soon.
Here's the 1-0 to Matarazzo. Backdoor breaking ball called strike. Count 1-1.
And Bouchard is absolutely in the zone. He every pitch he has is just going exactly where he wants it. Everything's working for him right now. And a great decision by Tommy Whitaker to send him in the game.
Really unpredictable, too. He went after Bruno with breaking balls, as this one is a breaking ball flied into right field. Feinstein comes in, and he'll call it and will make the catch. So Matt Bouchard comes on and takes care of business. Comes on with a man on third and nobody out. He strands Huber. The Stallions will win this one 6-4 over the Adirondack Trailblazers.
And they made it a little scarier than it possibly could have been, going into the top of the ninth, up 6-0, and only won by 2. But regardless, Matt Bouchard comes in, gets the job done. And the Stallions take away another win, so that's going to bring them to 10-5 on the season, which is a really great record compared to their year last year. Only won 14 games all of last year, the entire season. Now they're already at 10.
Yeah, the Stallions only a half game behind the Albany Dutchmen in first place. That's their 4th win in a row, and they're red hot. They're looking to take control of the East. The Adirondack Trailblazers fall to 6-9. They're now 5 games back in the West. So another big pitching night for John Clayton, who started off his PGCBL year with 13 scoreless. Can't beat that. Well, you can only beat that if you're Avery Short and started out the year with 16 scoreless.
Yeah, so you can beat that, but
it's a tough thing to beat.
And be sure to check out my post-game interview show, Kurt's Corner, afterwards. As I think I'm going to go with John Clayton tonight, who had a great start for the Stallions, and so I'll be doing a little interview with him. So definitely make sure you check that out.
Yeah, it'll be an interview with John Clayton. Also, big nights tonight for Matt Feinstein and Jack Gonzalez. Tonight, they really hit the heck of the ball. The 3 and 4 hitters for the Stallions right in the middle of the order. Taking care of business is the Stallions with a big 6-4 victory over Adirondack. An East versus West victory. Feinstein tonight 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, an RBI and a stolen base. And Jack Gonzalez 2 for 4 tonight with a single, a triple, an RBI, and 2 runs scored as well. So big win for the Sawyers, their 4th in a row. And a big thanks to all our listeners for tuning in. Thank you for everyone who shared, commented, and liked on this video.
Yeah. And if you haven't already, please do so. People can still watch these things after the fact. And so get the word out there about the Saugerties Stallions. We would really appreciate it. And so that's it for this tonight's game of Saugerties Stallions baseball. Coming to you from the Morris Computer Broadcast booth. I'm Curtis Jorgensen.
I'm Biko Scala.
And thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, tune in to Kurt's Corner. 6-4 win for the Stallions.